Gainesville, Florida today, and there are a lot of reasons why, folks. Only 150 miles separate Gainesville from Tallahassee. That adds to the enmity, the ferocity, the avarice, and the animus in this rivalry between Florida and Florida State. This is what it looked like just a few moments ago down in the field. Players almost threatening to throw hands before the kickoff even got underway. That's the type of intensity that we're dealing with here this afternoon. Welcome, everyone. This is ESPN College Football, presented by Marathon. Folks, you're watching the SEC on ESPN on the last Saturday in November, as things can turn in so many different directions. We have so many different storylines all converging at once today. Here on Senior Day, 27 different Florida players appearing for the last time here at home. Coach Knox taking the helm for this Florida Gator squad in the wake of the dismissal of their head coach, Dan Mullen. That, and remember the fact that this is the first time these two squads have met in 40 years, where one team will go home and the other will be bowl eligible. And here we are again, folks, for another Sunshine State showdown. Mark Jones chopping it up with Robert Griffin III. Quinn Kesnick down to the field joining us in just a bit. So many compelling reasons to stay tuned to this one today, Robert, especially Florida State. They started off the season 0-4. They've since become one of the biggest comeback stories in all of college football.
Yeah, they have, going from 0-4 to possibly 6-6. And Jordan Travis has been a spark plug for them, using his arm and his leg to make plays. And as you've seen them transform, they've really found their identity on offense and defense. But for Florida, Dan Mullen, he was fired. Greg Knox come in as the interim coach, and this team is not without talent. Everybody's got to know they almost beat Alabama. Many think they should have beat Alabama, but one way or another, it's about to go down in the swamp, and we're going to see who's going to get that bowl bonus at the end of the day.
Boy, what a difference a year makes for the Gators. Quinn Kesnick has more. Quinn?
After Dan Mullen got fired, the big question here, the million-dollar question, what is the emotional state of Florida? Well, here's some observations from what we saw in pregame. During Gator Walk, it was a stone-faced Florida Gator team led by their interim coach, Greg Knox. Once on the field, he showed great enthusiasm, high-fiving and hugging every single player. Later on in warm-ups, we saw the steely focus of some individual players, and then the flare-up, the dust-up, the combustible moment. Florida was the instigators, Mark. Let's see if they want to talk the talk. Let's see if they're going to walk the walk.
A lot happening down on the sidelines for the Gators this afternoon. And Florida State and Mike Norvell, their head coach, boy, what a picture of poise under pressure when they were 0-4. When there could have been a lot of finger pointing, there wasn't. He continued to establish his team's burgeoning culture, and here they are just 60 minutes away from becoming bowl eligible with a third consecutive win potentially. And they are trying to snap the two-game losing streak that the Seminoles have against the Gators. Coach Knox has been an interim coach on several different occasions. The first time being an interim for Dan Mullen here at Florida. Knox has been here and been able to handle these circumstances before. He's also with Coach Mullen at Mississippi State. But this is a different animal. He was named interim head coach after Dan Mullen was dismissed. Here was interim at Mississippi State in 2017 when Mullen was on his way here to Gainesville. But Robert, the sideline looks pretty lit right now.
Oh yeah,
in contrast to what Quinn said a minute ago.
They've got a lot of energy, and listen, this is a bragging rights game. Families fall out because of the outcome of this game. So man, are we excited. to call this one.
Florida won the toss, deferring. Pardon me, no, they will take the football first. Xavier Henderson back deep. The ball will bounce into the end zone, come out first down and 10 from the 25-yard line. One of the burgeoning storylines today, too, is the quarterback play. Simply, who will it be? Will it be Jones? Will it be Richardson? Jones suffered an ankle injury earlier this week in practice. There was a lot of speculation as to his health and fitness, but here he comes out for the game's first snap. Jones completing 69% of his passes on the season, 18 touchdown passes, but troubling with those 10 interceptions. First down and 10 from the 25. Davis in the backfield, he makes the catch. And Davis with a nice gain. Put a little boom on that DB to pick up 9. And we take a look at Robert's keys to the game.
Yeah, the keys to the game, we got to block the bookends. You better chip, flip, and double team these defensive ends from both teams or they will erase your offense. Playoffs? Not where either team wants to be, but this is the bowl eligibility rivalry game. Who wants it more? We're going to learn today. And then are you down with RBC?
Yeah, you know me.
Oh, yeah. The running back crew for Florida State is playing at an extremely high level, and Florida's going to have to try to shut them down today.
False start, number 76, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
They're going to move that back a little bit. Florida coming off a loss last week in overtime against Missouri. Meanwhile, Florida State comes into this contest on a 2-game winning streak. They defeated Miami a couple of weeks ago in the previous Sunshine State rivalry game and defeated Boston College a week ago. This pass complete by Jones out to the 30-yard line. Shorter was working against Cooper, picked up 4 on the play. It'll be third down coming up. Robert, how would you characterize the Gators offensively, where they are right now?
Yeah, I was going to say they go as the quarterback goes. Looks like we got a new QB in the game.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson coming in.
Yeah, this team goes as the quarterback goes, and what we've seen from them is they have everything that they need. They got the backs, they got the receivers. They haven't had the strong offensive line play or the consistent QB play.
Richardson keeps it on the predetermined run and picks up the first down. And Richardson comes up hobbling a little bit after that run. Anthony Richardson has had some brilliant moments for Florida this year.
Yeah, you see right here, just the quarterback power read gets vertical. I don't know what happened, but it just looked like somebody hit him a little funky on his leg. And injuries have been a big issue for Richardson this year. Being available has been his biggest issue.
Jones back in, going to take a shot down deep. Got a man and overshoots him at the 22-yard line. Justin Shorter was open. He got in behind Jamie Robinson. Boy, that's a toss that Jones wishes he could have back.
Yeah, when you're Emory Jones in this moment, Coach talked about it. When you have your shots, you got to hit them. And right there, Justin Shorter just needed to be a little bit taller to get that one. He's 6'5", and Emory Jones just missed him a little bit down the field.
Going to be a gain of 2 on the play. Jermaine Johnson making the tackle on Jones. That's a name that we figured to call a lot this afternoon, Robert. Jermaine Johnson leads the Seminoles with 11 sacks, one of the premier defensive ends in the country, right?
Yes, he is. And honestly, he's playing like a top 10 pick. Wow. Last week on a 4th down, he literally tossed an offensive lineman across of him, and the running back ran into a brick wall on that stop. Jermaine Johnson, Keir Thomas are playing such good football right now.
Part of the revival of the Seminole team. Jones got it off in time, complete. That's Copeland with the first down, and still on his feet into Seminole territory at the 48-yard line. Good poise by Jones that time. McClendon made the tackle and a gain of 13 on the play.
Yeah, look at the poise by Emory Jones right here. He gets pressure at his feet, still makes a delivery to Jacob Copeland there. Got another flag on the field.
Yeah, Florida was up to the line of scrimmage very quickly, trying to go fast. Got a flag down.
Gotcha. Full start. Number 1, offense. Never got set. Therefore, there was never a time when all 11 players were set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
All right, they're going to move it back a little bit. Meanwhile, our Quint Pesnick reporting to us in our headset a moment ago that Anthony Richardson is in the tent being attended to by the athletic training staff for the Gators after just that one play.
It's such an unfortunate development there because these fans have been waiting to see Anthony Richardson. And we talked to Greg Knox coming into this game, and we knew that both Anthony Richardson and Emory Jones were coming in with injuries already, so you just hate to see that.
1st and 15, they're going to run it off. Off the right side, that's going to be Malik Davis, brought down by Kalen DeLoach. Picked up 1.5 yards on the play. Damian Pierce and Malik Davis in the backfield doing a lot of the heavy lifting in the run game, but the real heavy lifting comes from Emory Jones, who's their leading rusher, Robert.
Yes, he's their leading rusher, and he has the most attempts. He has 128 rushes this season. That's a lot on your quarterback.
Throws it this time, completes it to Davis out of the backfield. And Davis picked up about 4. Robinson with another tackle for the Seminoles sets up a 3rd down. Let's go to Quinn.
Dan Mullen not only was the head coach, but he was also the offensive play caller. Insert Garrick McGee, former quarterback at Oklahoma, longtime assistant, places like Arkansas, Louisville, Illinois. This is not his first rodeo. He's calling this from field side.
See what he dials up for Jones here. Lobs it up down the sideline. Complete. Caught. Gamble. Touchdown, Florida.
Emory Jones said, Coach McGee, don't worry, I'm not going to miss it twice. He throws the ball to Kamari Gamble, and it paid off. As you see right here, he missed the deep throw earlier in the possession. Right here, just dumps it right over the defender's head. Gamble kind of walks, salsas into the end zone. Mismatch. The DB said, hey, I got him. He said, stop capping.
Yeah. Gamble's a load at 6'4". 243 pounds. His 4th touchdown catch of the season. 7th of his career, in Florida out to an early 6-0 lead. Gamble out of Southridge High School down there in the Miami area, which really underscores the importance of recruiting complications and implications in wake of this game. Emory Jones laid one right in there for Gamble, and that was a safe bet. Back after this. Right back here in Gainesville, 7-0 Gators. There was a flag thrown while we were in commercial, and this is why. Keep an eye on number 54 during this altercation. Got his hands up in the face mask of Cooper for Florida State. Gerald Mincy, and he was whistled for a foul. That's what you get when you have a couple of schools separated by just 150 miles and you play for a whole bunch of historical reasons. It's a rivalry game, and since Quint reported that it was a kind of stoic looking walk for the Gators, they've since turned up. Deshaun Corbin on the kickoff return. And Corbin takes it out over the 35 to about the 37, where it'll be 1st and 10 from there. Let's go back to Quinn.
Senior day for Florida tight end Kamari Gamble, who scored the first touchdown of this ball game. He able to walk out and present the flowers to his mom. That's Kiva Rodriguez. She's been in the hospital for 2 months with COVID. She was in ICU for 37 days. This is the first game that she has been to in person all season long. And on the first drive, Kamari scores a touchdown. He told me she beat it. She's been dealing with it. I've been dealing with it all season long.
A great job, Quint. Travis brought down to the line of scrimmage. And when you think about all that his mom has gone through, what the family has gone through, what Gamble has gone through, that touchdown is better than any kind of booster shot or medicine you could get, huh?
Yes, it is. And you just think about that, just the weight that was on his shoulders right there, doing that for his mom. These players have stories outside of football, and I'm glad that we were able to tell that one.
And I'm all for booster shots, by the way, folks. I don't want you to get it wrong. On 2nd and 9, Corbin.
So now we're sitting here, we got Florida State, right? If you know anything about this offense with Kenny Dillingham, the running backs are the best players. So they're trying to get them the ball in all situations possible. So here on 3rd and 5, last week they struggled a little bit in the second half with getting pressure on 3rd downs, couldn't pick it up. Let's see what Dillingham does. Before, early in the season, he's moved the pocket to try to take some pressure off this offensive line.
Sacked at the 30 by Brenton Cox Jr. And Travis gets up holding his right arm, slumping.
Oh man, you hate to see that for Jordan Travis. But I told you guys at the beginning of the game, you got to block these bookends, right? Brenton Cox Jr. uses the speed rush to get around the right tackle and just lays on top of Jordan Travis, taking him down, and it looks like he might have hurt his arm there.
4.5 sacks
Timeout. Florida.
for Cox.
Their first of the half.
Gators going to use one of their 3 timeouts. Travis a little shaken there on the Seminole sideline. They'll punt it away when we come back.
ESPN College Football is presented by Marathon, driven forward. And in part by Duluth Trading Company, clothing and gear designed and tested to do.
The amount of malevolence that you get during a rivalry game like this is tangible and palpable. There it is on your screen. This one between Florida and Florida State has the 65th chapter of it being written here this afternoon. Each one of those previous 64 unique to itself. 4th and 15, the Seminoles punting. Henderson back for the punt from Mastromano. Not one of his better efforts. He's averaging about 43 per punt on the season. Let's see where they spot this. Either way, the Gators will have good starting field position on this, their second possession of the football game. Emory Jones getting the start at quarterback.
Yeah, man, just look at the state of the Sunshine State, right? 11 national championships amongst these 3 teams, and coming into today, there's only 2 teams of these big programs in the state of Florida that have winning records. Miami, right, and UCF.
Right.
So if you're a fan, you're wondering, what's going on? And if you're a fan of the Gators, you're trying to figure out who's going to be the next coach that comes in and is going to be able to restore our program to what it used to be.
Well, you think about a year ago this time, the Florida Gators were playing for the SEC championship under their then head coach Dan Mullen, who was fired earlier this week. Jones up top. Looked like almost an identical route that they scored on with Gamble a moment ago. This one incomplete.
Yeah, they ran a little wheel route down the sideline, and Emory just missed him a little bit. Got to leave that one in bounds and give your receiver an opportunity to make that catch. But, you know, when we talked to Coach Greg Knox this week, he said the most important thing for the team was that he is not a new person standing in front of him. They know him. He's been the special teams coordinator. He's been in front of the team and led these guys and told them what to do.
They're going to run it here on 2nd and 10. Pierce off tackle, nowhere to go. Stopped up by Robert Cooper. Well, it's rivalry weekend in college football, and we'll cap our Saturday triple dip on ABC with the 116th annual Bedlam game between number 10 Oklahoma, number 7 Oklahoma State. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. 3rd and 10 for Jones and the Gators.
When we talked to Coach Knox this week, he said, listen, we're going to use all 4 downs depending on the down and distance. So I wouldn't be shocked if they try to get just half the yards back here.
Good part of the field to do it, and Jones with all day to throw over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for number 12, Rick Wells, so it'll be 4th and 10. McClellan was there stride for stride with him. They're on Florida State's side of midfield. But regardless, in comes the punt team.
So already a couple times we've already seen Emory Jones happen to be peeled off the turf, right? That was the same thing that was happening last week against Missouri. He was getting hit constantly, over and over and over. They have to protect him better. And that's why I said earlier, you got to block these bookends. Otherwise, it's going to be a long, treacherous day for the quarterback.
Ontario Wilson back for the fair catch. And he feels it cleanly at the 10 as we check in with the studio.
Guys, we have a score in Michigan, Ohio State. Wolverines get the ball first. It had a little trickery to get in. A.J. Henning takes it in for the Wolverines. 7-0. Ohio State's ball next.
Well, this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Capital One. Cincinnati made it.
They made it, baby. Look at them.
Number 4. What'd you think of their win last night against East Carolina?
Listen, man, they're doing what they got to do.
Okay.
Keep winning. Just win, baby.
I'm trying to hear anything about style points. They're going to run it. That's Corbin, brought down by Carter, picked up 3 on the play. Jayshon Corbin started the year on a really great note for Florida State. Even though as a team they weren't doing that well, he was the only player in the ACC this season to go back-to-back 100-yard rushing games to begin the year. Empty formation, 2nd and 7. Travis gets rid of it quickly, and the pass is complete out to the 21. Wilson, the team's leading receiver yardage-wise, is right there near the first down marker. There's a lot of chirping going on.
Yes, you see Jordan Travis, he's coming to the line. He's telling the offensive line what he wants them to do, and the Gators are actually checking with him. 2 different fronts and coverages as he's making those checks.
3rd and 1, they're going to run it and pick it up. Corbin kept those feet moving and gave the defense a little shake to pick up 3. Got around Brenton Cox to move the chains.
And you know, Mark, you mentioned Jayshon Corbin, and we just saw Ontario Wilson, a.k.a. Pokey, make that catch. If they're not trying to get the ball to these backs, they're throwing it to number 80, right? So you got Jayshon Corbin, who's their leading rusher, and Trayshawn Ward, a former walk-on. It's a great story that we can tell right after this play.
No doubt. 1st and 10. He's in there now. Trips to the top of your screen. Travis fires. Got a man at the 40, complete. That's Douglas with the first down. A pickup of 17 on the play. And, well, we were talking about Trayshawn Ward. He was just put on scholarship in the spring after the previous season being a walk-on, not getting a lot of reps, and basically giving the first-team defense a lot of work, folks, as Travis does the same to the first-team defense for the Gators here, picking up the first down. Torrance finally making the tackle. Back to Ward. After their bowl game last year, the coaches sat him down and said, hey, listen, we don't want you taking our defense's confidence away. We're going to put you on scholarship.
Yes, and Trayshawn Ward is part of that RBC we talked about earlier. It's him, Jayshon Corbin, Lawrence Toafili, and the guy who just caught the pass down the field a couple plays ago, Ja'Kai Douglas. These guys are not only talented, they can run, catch, block, do everything you can imagine for a football player to do.
Between the tackles again, Trayshawn Ward came into the game with almost 500 yards rushing, picks up 3 there. This Florida State football team hung its hat and its resurgence and its resurrection on that run game offensively until Jordan Travis got really healthy and back in rhythm. And here he is coming back out on 2nd and 7. Mackenzie Milton, one of the greatest comeback stories in all of college football, taking the snap now out of the shotgun. And he loses it. He feels it all the way back at the 40. Boy, that's an egregious miscue there.
Man.
And Travis is going to go into the locker room and be tended to by the athletic training staff. He's still dragging that right arm.
Yeah, you know, we don't speculate up here, but what it looks like is he might have somewhat of a stinger. Right, those things come and go, but once you have one, they can be repetitive. But for Mackenzie Milton, I would have loved to see him pull a baseball move, scoop and get that one, and maybe throw it out of bounds. But now they're in a really bad 3rd and 23 situation. There are no plays for this distance.
They run the screen, and nowhere to go for Ward. Brought down immediately by Jalen Lee. So 4th and long coming up, and Florida State's going to have to punt. It's going to be interesting to see how long Norvell has to go with Mackenzie Milton. Remember, 2.5 years ago, he suffered that cataclysmic leg injury, so severe that he almost lost the leg at one point.
Yeah.
Doctors, surgeons thought about having to amputate the leg to save his life. But after several surgeries and grafts, he was able to come back and this year play football at Florida State, transferring in. Henderson will watch it bounce. It takes an auspicious roll for Florida State inside the 5, down to the 3. And the Gators will be 97 yards away. Mastromano finding a little bit of atonement on that 63-yard punt. We'll be back with more right after this.
Noles and Gators, regardless of how the two teams are doing.
Florida, Florida State.
Florida, Florida State.
It's clearly the FSU in the Florida game every year. Top notch. It don't matter what the record is. As long as those two teams playing, it's awesome.
It's a hot rivalry.
The people have spoken, right? Records don't matter in rivalry games.
And for head coach Mike Norvell, this is his first time experiencing it. Jones with a complete pass to the backup tight end, Zipperer. And he moves the chains. You know, Florida, Florida State, it gets pretty intense. And people might have a tendency to say, is it Miami, Florida State? No, as a resident of South Florida, I've learned through the years, I think it is more of a Florida, Florida State type deal that is the better, or not better, but more intense ride. 17-yard gain on that previous play. Wright brought down by Brownlee. Either way you cut it, though, Robert, so many implications regarding this result because, you know, in a talent-rich state like Florida, all the recruits are watching.
Yeah, it's a big recruiting game. And Coach Norvell said it. He said, there's two games I talked to my team about at the beginning of practice, spring ball. It's the Florida game and the Miami game. That's it. So they understand the magnitude of this and how many fans and recruits are watching this game.
Run it here on 2nd and 13. That was Wright. And remember, a 6th win for either of these teams, they go to a bowl game. Florida State hasn't been to a bowl in 2 of the last 3 seasons.
Whereas Florida's reached 3 straight New Year's Six bowls, but hey.
And are looking for a new head coach.
Hey, guess what? Dan Mullen, see you later.
Wow.
You know, it's kind of wild if you ask me.
This is a perilous business. 3rd and 10, Jones fires. Great catch, but short of the first down. Whittemore stopped up by Robinson, who was victimized on that touchdown play a moment ago. And must have been a bicep day in the weight room yesterday because he flexed a little bit on Whittemore. And the defense gets off the field with 1.5 to go here in the first quarter of play.
That's an area where this Florida State defense has improved drastically, tackling. Right, when you look at some of the games earlier in the year against NC State, 3 of the 4 touchdowns that Devin Leary and the Wolfpack had came on missed tackles. So right there, Jamie Robinson showing exactly how much they've developed over the course of the season.
Wilson back for the fair catch. Retrieves it at the 20-yard line as we go back to the studio.
All right, guys, Matt Barry back at our college football studio checking in on Georgia. They've got their rivalry game against Georgia Tech. Not expected to be too competitive. Here's Stetson Bennett to Jermaine Burke for the touchdown. Dogs getting tuned up for that SEC championship game against Alabama next week.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt.
And you know, we talk about bowl eligibility, and these coaches are really fighting to get more time with these players because look at this. When you're the Gators, you got Will Muschamp, Jim McElwain, and Dan Mullen all sitting there with dead money. They're trying to figure out why. Why are they not coaching the Gators right now?
Those buyouts are heavy. Out to the 22-yard line, that's Trayshawn Ward.
And it's interesting because we heard a coach earlier this year, Mike Tomlin, say there's not a booster with a big enough blank check to get him to come to college football, right? Well, guess what? That's a lot of blank checks right there.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money that they're paying coaches to not coach the Florida Gators.
Might want to screenshot that graphic and send it to him. Toafili in the backfield. Got about a yard. 3rd down coming up, Quint.
It's $500 million from 2010 to 2020. $500 million.
Wow.
Billion with a B.
Wow.
Money paid to coaches, owed to coaches not to coach, to fulfill their contracts. It's really an example of the broken financial structure of big-time college sports.
Billion with a B. And it's still tough to pay the players, I guess. Milton intercepted at the 44. Torrance.
Going on the field is an interception. First down.
That's his third interception of the season. And that leads the Gators. As a team, it's their 8th.
And to tell you the truth, it's really just a missed throw by Mackenzie Milton, a.k.a. Eminem, right? He's rolling to his left. He's trying to make a throw, and he just airmails it.
Wow.
And Rashad Torrance says, okay, I'll take this gift. I didn't know it was Christmas already. But Mackenzie Milton's got to go back on the sideline now, regroup. We all know this is a guy that was in the running for the Heisman. He got votes. I think he finished 5th or 6th that year. He's got to calm down. This moment isn't too big for him. But if I was him, I'd be warming up on the sideline for the entire next possession. So I can know all these different throws that I got to make. I wasn't anticipating playing today, but now I am, and my team needs me.
First down and 10 coming back the other way. Maybe Jones takes a shot, maybe not. Little trickery here. Jones. And he gives it right back. Picked off by Robinson. And Jamie Robinson says thank you.
Oh my, Emory Jones. Hey, just a second ago they were all laughing. Now they're crying. Can't make that play. If it's not there, you gotta throw the check down. Possessing the ball, the turnover margin, these are the most important things in rivalry games. And right now, both teams are messing it up.
Sometimes
The AT&T Countdown to the College Football Playoff National Championship, Monday, January 10th on ESPN.
So now we're going to take a look back at that flea flicker interception. And you see here, Emory Jones, he got his eyes down the field knowing that he possibly has a seam throw right here to Mr. Shorter, his receiver. But what people aren't realizing is in the backfield, he had pressure. Keir Thomas, Malcolm Ray, forced him to throw the ball earlier than he wanted to. And he got hit as he was throwing, so he couldn't drive it like he wanted to. So you see here in the backfield, he's getting hit by Keir Thomas.
Pass interference, number 7, offense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that forces him to kind of just loft the ball up there. And that is on Emory Jones. When you're in that situation and you can't make the proper throw, the appropriate throw for the situation, don't throw it. Either take the sack, or try to throw the ball away. In that moment, he should have took the sack, live another day.
we have a new quarterback in, Robert, as well. Tate Rodemaker for Florida State. Mackenzie Milton on the sidelines. Jordan Travis shaken up a little bit earlier. They run the counter. This is Corbin with nowhere to go. He's going to lose a yard on the play. How does that change the Seminoles offense when you don't have QB1, QB2, and you're down to QB3?
Listen, nobody in the world thought that Tate Rodemaker would be playing today. But I do remember Mike Norvell a couple weeks ago talking about how impressive he has been in practice. So, yeah, Mackenzie Milton comes out, throws the interception, and they want to go a different direction because maybe Tate Rodemaker gives them more mobility, and that is what their offense needs when they don't have Jordan Travis.
Slant into traffic, incomplete for Parchment. It's going to be third down and long, Quint.
Tate got some reps in a win over UMass earlier this year. He actually started a game last year against Jacksonville State. He's known more as a thrower, less as a runner.
Yeah, Quint, Tate Rodemaker, he is definitely known as more of a thrower than a runner, but for some reason, they're not trusting Mackenzie Milton in this moment. They're trusting Tate Rodemaker.
Third and 25. Gets it out quickly, little jailbreak screen. Corbin still on his feet, but short of the first down, and picked up 7 on the play. So the Gators defense going to get off the field here. Mari Burney made the stop. And it's 4th and long.
Yeah, and for Noel Nation out there, you're not going to find another guy on the Florida State sideline that's going to provide you the spark, mobility, agility, playmaking ability that Jordan Travis has.
Right.
So I'm interested to see who they roll out on the next possession, right? They tried Mackenzie Milton, he threw an interception. They tried Tate Rodemaker, they go 3 and out. It's 4th and 18. They're giving the ball right back to the Gators. Let's see what Mike Norvell and Kenny Dillingham have in store.
There's a punt from Mastromanno. Henderson going to be wrapped up right around the 23-yard line on the 40-yard punt. It's the first time that these two schools are meeting without the late, great Bobby Bowden being with us and a part of it. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Here from Gainesville, Florida. The 65th edition of Florida against Florida State. Jordan Travis back out on the field. You see a little bit of that kinesio tape on his right shoulder area. And there's a look at his backups right now. 1st and 10 for the Gators, coming back the other way. Damian Pierce runs it right back to the line of scrimmage. Be interested to see if Travis comes back into the football game on their next series. 3 different quarterbacks have taken 17 snaps already in this game. On the last series, it was Tate Rodemaker.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want, but Jordan Travis gives them the best chance to win. And when we've seen him play this year, he has really turned this entire team around. He's been a catalyst for them. I know that they're hoping and praying that he can go for the rest of the game.
2nd and 9. Jones keeps it on the RPO and picks up about 6 on the play. Jarrett Jackson making the tackle for Florida State. Emory Jones, the team's leading rusher coming into the ball game, almost 700 yards on the ground through the season.
Yes, and Emory Jones just a couple games ago had 550 total yards of offense and 7 total touchdowns. Now, it was against Samford, but come on, man. I don't care who that's against. That's impressive. The guy's got skills. We just need to see it more consistently from him, down in and down out.
They were life and death in that Samford game. 3rd and 4. Jones over the middle, complete for the 1st down. That's Gamble. Oh, he hit a DB with some sauce. Oh, took those ankles. Jarvis Brownlee needs a GPS to find Gamble right now. A 25-yard pickup.
Man, oh man, right here. Emory Jones just comes down to his check down. Gamble, and what does he do? Teaches that man how to cha-cha in the open field. Then gives that man a stiff arm looking like Derrick Henry out there. You said he was alone. Whew, he sure is.
1st down and 10. This is Jones, picks up another 1st down. Robinson made the hit and the stop. But Emory Jones, boy, he can hurt you so many different ways, Robert.
Yes, you watch here, just another quarterback power, and look at that big hole right there. Look, you and me and the truck could fit through that bad boy. And if Emory Jones could have stayed up after that spin move, oh, he'd still be running right now. Now, when you talk about Florida State's defense, they have had some issues with quarterbacks who can move, giving up 100 yards to Syracuse and North Carolina in those games selected.
Jones picked up 12 on the last run. He's going to lose about 2 here. Brownlee came back and made a nice tackle on that play. Emory Jones started every game this year except for the Georgia game. That's the game that Anthony Richardson started. We saw Richardson in the 1st quarter carry the ball once and then limp off to the sidelines. Richardson had that fantastic game against LSU where he had 4 consecutive touchdown drives and then got the start the following week against Georgia where he was hurt. 2nd and 12. All day for Jones, and he's picked off at the 32-yard line. Threw it into traffic, and Kalen DeLoach comes out of the pack with it.
Field is an interception. 1st down.
Now, Kalen DeLoach had a great safety last week against Boston College, and here he is making another big play, and I can't wait to break it down for you to show you exactly why Emory Jones threw that interception when we get back.
ESPN College Football presented by Marathon is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Try a peppermint chip milkshake, the mintiest way to share the holiday spirit. Available for a limited time.
So here we are. We're talking about the interception. The circle right there was on Jermaine Johnson, but Emory Jones pre-snap saw that he had a one-on-one on the outside. He predetermined that that's where he wanted to go. He saw the vision like, okay, I got my guy one-on-one, but he didn't reconfirm where the linebacker was before he made the throw. And then you see Jermaine Johnson knocking the man on the ground, giving him that pressure. But what he did not do is reconfirm that his guy was open, and he threw it to the other team. 12 interceptions on the year, Emory Jones. Those inexcusable mistakes right there can't happen, man.
Johnson was coming with that backside pressure. It made him feel his presence right there. Second down coming up here for the Seminoles. Jordan Travis back in again, taking a shot down the sideline, incomplete. His receiver fell, McLean against Helm, and there's a flag down.
Hey, man, you got to give that man an Oscar right there. Malik McLean sold that, and now it was pass interference, though.
Defense number 24, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic. First down.
Oh, look at that. I know Avery Helm and all of Gator Nation is mad right now because the award for best acting goes to Malik McLean. Sometimes you got to sell it now, okay? I love it for my receivers. If you go down the field and you can't get to that bad boy, just make it look like he tripped you.
It's that four-letter word that starts with an F. Flop. Flop. First and 10 from the 48. Corbin. Check that. That's Trayshawn Ward into Florida territory. Picks up about 3 on the play. Coming up this week on Sunday NFL Countdown, Patriots quarterback Mac Jones sits down to share the story of his journey to the NFL. Plus, Sam and the guys rank the top plays of the week. Turkey Bowls being played across the country. Kick off your Sunday with countdown at 10 a.m. Eastern time. 2nd and 7.
Well, you know, there was a lot of Turkey Bowls out there. A lot of people pulling hamstrings and hurting themselves. Be careful now.
Achilles popping across the country. Travis, flag down, Travis down, back at the 47-yard line. Let's see what this flag is about here on the near side of the field at about the 43.
Offside. Defense number 33, lined up in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, second out.
That's going to move it back into Gators territory right across the 45-yard line. 8:52 to go here in the first half. Jordan Travis has had so many riveting moments for Florida State this year. Comeback victory against Syracuse. 2-minute drill set up a game-winning field goal. Did the same against Miami. Bad numbers so far. Travis gets away, gets rid of it quickly, and Wilson picks up the first down at the 34. Oh, we got another flag down. Robert, this is the type of game where maintaining your poise in that crucial moment, that pivotal moment, is so key. It's something that I'm sure coaches have talked to their players about coming into this.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, Coach Knox and Coach Norvell both talked about having to be able to maintain your mental, physical.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 75, offense. 15-yard penalty. The yardage was still good for a first down.
Case in point right there.
Yeah, they talked about being able to maintain not just your physical and mental game, right, but your emotional game. This is important to a lot of people. They want to go to a bowl. They want to finish off their year the right way. They want to protect the swamp, whatever it may be. But you have to understand that hurting your team with penalties is never the right way to go get a victory.
I'm going to come back to that a little bit later. Remind me. 1st and 10. Jordan Travis to the sideline, completed the 49, and nowhere to go for Andrew Parchment. Elam right there to close quickly. Under 8 minutes to go in the first half. Poise so paramount in this rivalry game. And here's a look at the penalty. Gibbons coming in a little bit late, getting flagged for it, and the subsequent reaction from Coach Norvell.
Yeah, he's telling them, use your mind. It's not all about being physical and making that play.
Wide open at the 30. Parchment again. It was Parchment that had that almost touchdown game-winning play against Miami a couple of weeks ago. On 4th and 14, he got 26 there.
Big time throw there by Jordan Travis as they get to the line and run a quick play here.
Travis finding his rhythm a little bit. On the move. Great cutback. And finally brought down at about the 9-yard line. It'll be first down and goal, moving much better than we thought he might when he exited the game, Robert.
Oh yeah, and this is just Jordan Travis being Jordan Travis. Look, he uses his arm, he's using his eyes. He says, you know what, I got this. Cut back going across the field. Man, this Jordan Travis just brings a different dynamic to this offense, and he has everybody rolling in Noel Nation.
Well, this season, along with their contributions to universities' general scholarship funds for every field goal and extra point made, Allstate will also be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, Allstate. .702 to go. Florida State red hot in the red zone. Longest active streak in FBS. First and goal. Travis going to take off. His do-it-yourself kit works. Touchdown. Jordan Travis does it himself. A 9-yard touchdown rush. His 7th of the season, 17th of his career, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
Jordan Travis just put the team on his back like that, right? Comes back in the game, makes a couple big runs, a big throw, and he's showing you why he is the spark for the Florida State Seminoles.
A couple of weeks ago, as I mentioned a moment ago, he did it against Miami, drove his team down the field for the game-winning score. He has been so clutch for the Seminoles this year. Jordan Travis, JT, a.k.a. JT Money. So many luminaries of college football have played and participated in this rivalry between Florida State and Florida. Andy Werfel, Heisman Trophy winner, part of your Heisman family, Robert, and my former neighbor in New York.
Oh.
Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward. Don't even get me started.
Charlie used to come over my crib for chicken wings, man. We'd hang out a little bit.
Hey, Charlie Ward's a great guy. One of the first guys to hit me up after winning the award.
Right.
And I still don't understand to this day why he didn't get drafted. Now, I know he went on to play in the NBA, but he did say if they drafted me, I'd go play in the NFL, and he didn't get that opportunity. And that still rubbed me the wrong way, even though I'm a lot younger than he is.
It's weird. They never drafted Warren Moon either. He had to go play in Canada. Let's go back to the studio. Maybe they know why.
You know, I can't help you with that, but I can help you with Georgia just absolutely beating down Georgia Tech as expected. This their talented true freshman, Brock Bowers. The tight end is 9th TD of the year. All dogs, 24-0. A couple other scores to pass along, gentlemen, before we toss it back to you. Boston College needs to pull off the upset against Wake Forest for NC State to get into the ACC Championship. Demon Deacs looking to clinch, and Baylor looking to stay alive for the Big 12 Championship. They are up 17-3 on Texas Tech.
Wow, the Baylor Robert Griffins.
Oh, come
playing
on.
well. Jones. See how Jones bounces back after throwing that interception. Zipper making the catch on this play, but the Seminoles able to capitalize on that interception that Jones threw on the last series, and he threw it into some pretty heavy drive time traffic.
Yeah, he just predetermined the throw and put his blinders on and made the throw. And I know after the 2 interceptions, Gator Nation's always also wondering what's up with Anthony Richardson. Wonder if we get an update on him point sometime.
Great call. Right. Picks up about 2. Let's go down to Quint and find out.
I'm standing about 4 yards away from Anthony Richardson, and let me tell you, he's a big cat at 6'4", 236. Retaped ankles, helmets on. He's looking hungry to come back in the ball game, quite honestly. His body language, like leaning up to the coach saying, hey, coach, I'm here. Hey, coach, I'm here. Put me in.
Yeah, he's really talented. If you saw the LSU game earlier that Florida played, you know what I mean. Jones on a quarterback draw. Great cutback and gets down safely to move the chains at the 38-yard line. Emory Jones scampers for 6 yards.
As I said before, this quarterback run is something that this Florida State defense has struggled with throughout the year. But they have kept it under wraps for the most part, and the Gators have to find ways to hit some big chunk plays, because putting together 10 to 12 play drives isn't always going to work consistently against this defense.
Haven't heard much from Copeland so far. Pass out of the backfield complete right. Made a nice move, but too many defenders there. Robinson there to finish it off. Well, here's our Week 12 Monday Night Football matchup. Russell Wilson, the Seahawks, in a must-win game when they take on Tyler McKinney and the Washington football team. Excuse me, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. Jones around the official and into the arms of Wells. Robinson again in on the tackle for Florida State.
We have an official's timeout for an injured player.
Got a Seminole shaken up. You know, as we go back to 2020 with Florida, since the infamous, I guess you call it the shoe toss game?
Yeah, the shoe toss game. You know, way back.
Been tough sledding for them.
It has been, and they were on the brink of possibly getting into the CFP, and they've been 2-8 since that loss against Power 5 teams. And Dan Mullen went from a coach who took his team to 3 straight New Year's 6 bowls to being fired in his 4th season after their loss last week against Missouri in overtime. And ironically, the way they lost that game was on a play that Florida itself had run earlier in the game on a 4th down conversion. But it's just weird that we don't know the entire story with Dan Mullen, what's going on at Florida with the Gators. But for a coach to have that much success and be out in one bad year makes you wonder.
A year ago, Q, they were playing in the SEC championship game. Quint?
Well, I spoke to Florida Athletic Director Scott Strickland before the game. Strickland goes back a ways with Coach Mullen. He was an assistant athletic director at Mississippi State. But going forward, Strickland told me they're looking for somebody who can build this kind of the old-fashioned way. They're looking for sustained success over a 5 to 10 year period. Talked about recruiting, how it has to improve in state, and just talked about how their expectations are to be a player in the SEC East every year.
Tough league, tough conference, tough division. Pass complete to Rick Wells for the first down. McClellan. The challenge is we haven't been able to sustain it. Got to put really good structure and culture in place. And that's going forward what we have to focus on. And an abundance of names thrown around as to who might be ready for the job and suitable for the job and leading candidate for the job. Right runs it. Robert, I love what you said on the Paul Feinbaum show yesterday, that Tim Tebow is an out-of-the-box, unconventional choice.
Yeah, he's an out-of-the-box, unconventional choice. If you're Florida, how are you going to compete with Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, and Jimbo Fisher when you're walking into these houses and to these parents and saying, hey, your son should come to my school? I don't know if there's another coach out there that can out-recruit those guys. So when you talk about longevity and building it that way, I'm not saying that Tim Tebow is the answer. What I'm saying is that Florida needs to think outside the box, because these kids in the transfer portal world, NIL world, they have so many more options, and they need something to get them excited. And what's that going to be for the Florida Gators? Who's that coach going to be that's going to take them to the next level?
I get your point. I get your point, Robert, but it's a little bit of a stretch. We're all girl dads. You wouldn't hire a babysitter with no babysitting excuse, would you?
That's true. But if you're talking about babysitting, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a guy who can be a figurehead for the Florida Gators. That's what they need. They need excitement. The Florida Gators don't need another coach to come in here who's another Saban guy or a guy that, oh, well, he's going to build it from the ground up and then get fired 4 years later after he has one bad season. How many times are you going to keep banging your head against the wall, doing the same thing and expecting different results?
Well, the name that gets floated quite a bit is Billy Napier of Louisiana Lafayette. He's a guy who's got roots with Clemson, Dabo Swinney. He's got roots with the Alabama program, obviously, and Nick Saban. He's the type of guy, he's low on flash. I mean, you talk about the definition of low on flash. Right now, apparently, he's the front runner for this job.
Yeah, and I've got nothing against Billy Napier. What I'm saying is that maybe it should be Marcus Freeman. Maybe it should be Ike Hilliard, a guy who knows Florida, who knows how to recruit this area, who knows what this program has been about. But let me get off my lecture horse right now. And what I'm saying is, listen, if you want to coach in today's age and bring your program back, you're going to have to think outside the box. It's not going to be done the conventional way.
Meanwhile, Wright picks up the first down. Brownlee shaken up as we check in with the studio.
All right, guys, Matt Barry here, and coming up on the Lexus Halftime Report, Ohio State, Michigan locked in a good one. Good weather out there. Plus, we'll talk Bedlam tonight. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State Big 12 Championship implications. And Georgia's rolling over Georgia Tech, as you'd expect. I'm going to throw this name out there. Former Gator Jesse Palmer, head coach of Florida. Joey Galloway, defensive coordinator. And I'll just show up to entertain them because those two will be with me coming up on the Lexus Halftime Report.
Yeah, Matt, you can be on my coach's show.
Hey, listen, I love it, Matt. I love it, man. That's awesome.
2:15 to go. Tied at 7. Quint?
With all the coaching openings nationally, here are a couple minority candidates that need to get attention. Marcus Freeman, you mentioned him, the former defensive coordinator at Cincinnati, now at Notre Dame. Dion, Eric Bieniemy, guy like Tony Alford. I mean, how many great running backs does he have to be involved with at Ohio State before he gets a look? You've got this list here. I've got Tony Elliott from Clemson, Mike Hart, Holman Wiggins from Alabama. I mean, those are names that whether it's this Florida job or jobs maybe like Virginia Tech, Troy, Akron, Washington, LSU, administrators have to do a better job in terms of diversity hiring.
Well said, Q.
Hey, how wild would that be for Deion Sanders to be the head coach of the Florida Gators?
Well, he's getting and has the requisite experience. Doing a nice job this year. Got a big game coming up next week. Back to the field. Wright with a nice cutback. And ran right into the arms of the defender, Cooper. But he picked up 8 on the play, ran about 25. And the ball on the right hash. As we go under 2 minutes to go in the first half. 2nd and 2 for Florida.
You want a breakdown of that run by Naquan Wright? Well, I don't got one for you, because guess what? You can't coach that. You can't coach that skill set to be able to stop on a dime, cut back across the field, and pick up those yards.
2nd and 2. It's been all Emory Jones except for one play in the football game for Florida. They're going to be riding right here on this drive. This time, he'd be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 3, and we got a timeout on the field.
Timeout, Florida State.
Well, Quint brought up a list of names, and let's hear what the people had to say about the next head coach potentially.
We need to take it back to Steve Spurrier.
You're right. Tebow, Bob Stoops would be nice. Just no Lane Kiffin. No Lane Kiffin. But
Bill Napier. Deion Sanders. Prime time.
Prime time. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Hey, you know what? I don't think it would be that much. Like people say, Deion Sanders, Florida State. He's affiliated with Florida State.
Correct.
I don't think when you get to the coaching level, it's that sacrilegious to have him coach the quote-unquote rival.
Well, look, the woman obviously agrees with you. Said that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Deion Sanders, he goes to Jackson State, right?
What about the impact, Robert, of guys when they play Power 5 football and even other leagues, they want to get to the league. What kind of impact does a guy like Primetime have?
He's relatable. He's someone that they can identify with. He's going to be able to go into those houses in Broward County and tell those parents, send your kid to me. I'll take care of them. I'll make them a better person. I'll make them a better player and get them to the next level.
Don't forget Dade.
Dade County, 33.
From the 23, Jones completes it. And right at the first down marker, Wright makes the catch. Gaynor makes the tackle. Jones is complete in his last 6 in a row, and now Naquan Wright is shaken up.
Man.
We've seen Pierce, we've seen Davis, we've seen Wright. And let's take a look at this.
Yeah, Emory Jones just delivers him the ball out of the backfield and just gets, oh no, ooh. Looks like his ankle got caught underneath him on the tackle there by Amari Gaynor. Man.
Athletic training staff taking a look at Wright. 5'9" sophomore from.
It's good to see him get up there.
Yeah. From Carroll City, Florida, Miami Gardens. These players have so much cross-pollination. They've played against each other in Youth League and Liberty City Optimists down there in South Florida, one of the great youth leagues that Luke Campbell, my neighbor, runs. Time now for today's Aflac trivia question. Since Nick Saban became head coach at Alabama, how many other head coaches, including interim, have there been in the SEC? Ooh. We're in the speed round right now, Robert. We're going to come up with the answer real quick. Jesus. No time for me to Google that up here.
Hey, we don't even have Wi-Fi. What do you mean?
Hey, Quint always knows those answers, man. Quint's the guy I sat beside in class, you know.
It's a number that is hard to believe. 61.
Wow.
I think he took over in 2007. 61. He's reshaped the SEC.
That's a lot of babysitting, Quint.
1st and 10. Jones completes it to Davis. With a nice spin move. Wow, we had somebody lose a hat down there.
Woo, what
that was
physical.
Kevin Knowles popped his helmet.
Look at this. He's coming in, cuts back in. Oh, no, that's not what you want to do. Oh, boy, did he get hit right there. He going to feel that one in the morning.
There's a look at Knowles out of Hollywood, Florida. 8-yard gain on the play. Yeah, you read the names off on our Too Deep and just mentioned Hollywood.
The game clock to 59 seconds.
Hollywood, Miami Gardens, Carroll City. Guys that have known each other since high school. Going head to head. And speaking of head to head, oh, it looked like it was his own guy. Some friendly fire might have taken it
the
off.
The clock will stop due to a player's helmet coming off with the clock running under a minute to go in the half. Florida has chosen not to take a 10-second run off. The clock will start on the snap.
So 2nd and 1 coming up.
Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
So 2nd and 1 coming up. Johnson and Keir Thomas have been kind of conspicuous by their silence so far. Those defensive ends for Florida State. And they're going to consult one more time regarding the time on the field. Didn't see a flag thrown. There's a look at Johnson.
We talk about Keir Thomas and Jermaine Johnson. Their impact is seen in the interceptions.
Okay.
In the fact of how they've gotten Florida off the field.
Please reset the game clock.
So it's not always going to be sacks.
59 seconds.
Exactly.
Please put 59 seconds on the game clock and start it on the snap.
We all get so caught up in the stat sheets and what the tackles say and what the sacks say. It's not always about that. Look at Kayvon Thibodeau earlier in the year. He didn't have the right numbers that people were thinking that he was going to have, but he still had that big impact. And that's how these guys are impacting the game right now. And they're going to need them to step up big here to keep the Gators from getting 6.
Wow, look at that. Naquan Wright being carried off the field. Jones keeps it incomplete at the 12-yard line to Kamari Gamble. That's not a great sign, but they do have some depth at that position. Keir Thomas, we're just talking about him, number 4 out of Miami Central High School, providing some good pressure on the quarterback that last play. Jones got it out quickly. Whittemore brought down at about the 9-yard line by Robinson, who was the first one to get there. They're going to give him the first down. It'll be 1st and goal with 47 seconds to go for the Gators.
You're going to see all the pick and rub routes that you can possibly imagine from the Gators down here in the red zone.
Jones surveys into the end zone, picked off for the 3rd time. Brownlee. Emory Jones with a terrible throw.
Well, Jonesy, you hit it right on the head. He had his guy in the back of the end zone, wide open, and Jarvis Brownlee Jr. undercuts the route because it was so poorly thrown behind him. Emory Jones right here trying to get it to Trent Whittemore. All he had to do was lead him towards the goalpost, and it'd be 6 for the Florida Gators. But instead, he throws it behind him. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. gets the interception, and now you have to be asking yourself, where is Anthony Richardson?
Florida State has 8 consecutive games with an interception as we revisit our Aflac trivia question that Quinn already so skillfully answered. Since Nick Saban became head coach, how many other head coaches have there been in the SEC? 61. And Greg Knox, the latest here this afternoon for the Gators. Nice gain of 13 by Toafili. And Florida State got a big play from its defense. Man, did they ever. And the way that Jordan Travis looked on that previous drive is a good sign for the Seminoles moving forward.
Yes, it really is. And just to go back to that play, that interception last week against Missouri, Emory Jones had a throw. He had a throw in the end zone where he was trying to get it to his tight end Gamble, and he overthrew him. During that week, during that play, Dan Mullen ridiculed him for 3 to 4 minutes. And it just makes me think, in this situation, was he worried about that play from last week and just trying to not miss Trent Whittemore? But that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you have to play each play as its own play. And the mistakes you made in the past game, you have to leave them there. Learn from those mistakes. Emory Jones is a good enough player to make that throw, obviously 9 times out of 10, and that just happened to be the one. But you have to ask yourself at this point,
Robert,
Anthony Richardson needs to be in there.
He's had a proclivity for throwing a lot of untimely interceptions. Not that there's ever a good time, but he has 13 of them on the season. 3 of them coming this afternoon. 21 seconds to go in the first half for Jordan Travis. He reemerged from the locker room in the second quarter to retake the reins of the offense. Slides in safely at the 44, and there's a flag down. They might have hit him after the slide a little bit late.
Yeah. A quarterback sliding is a defenseless player. You can't even hit him, can't even touch him. And right there, the Gators come up with another penalty. They're going to give the Noles even better field position and opportunity to get points. They got 12 seconds, but a penalty here is still going to give them closer to a field goal.
Unnecessary roughness, number 11 defense. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
You take a quick shot to get into field goal range here? Is that the thinking?
Yeah, they've got 1 timeout left. 12 seconds. You run a play right now. As soon as they get this ball set, get everybody set, ready to roll.
The clock will start on the snap.
So once the ball snapped, it's going to start. You try to get a quick play. You can go across the middle because you have that timeout.
Travis, the out pattern. It's going to be complete right on the fringes of field goal range to Andrew Parchment, picked up 6.
Yeah, it's beautiful execution there. Gets out of bounds. 6 seconds. Whatever you run here, it's got to be quick. You might need 1 or 2 more yards to really feel good about this field goal.
They got a timeout remaining, and keep in mind that Ryan Fitzgerald has been clutch this year. He has a long of 53. You can't take a sack. He's going to run, and that's going to be the end of the first half. Didn't get down in time, and it didn't work out for the Seminoles.
That's a learning moment right there for Jordan Travis.
The half is not over. We will review the clock to make sure that the half is over. Do not leave the field.
There's just said, you heard the announcement by the official that the half has not concluded. They're going to review video-wise and see if time did expire or not.
Yeah, it looked like to me that Jordan Travis was spinning like a top.
What should he have done there?
Down. If he was going to scramble, and that looked like it might have kind of been a design quarterback draw, he needed to run, get 5 yards, get down immediately, and signal timeout. In those situations, you can't try to fight for the extra yards. It takes points off the board for your team.
Well, that's the end of the first half of play. Seminoles and Gators knotted at 7 apiece. Seminoles trying to snap that 2-game losing streak to their neighbors. Let's go back to the studio.
Doji, thank you. Back Jesse, Joey, and the Alexis halftime report. Some people in
ball presented by Marathon. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. A lot of the messages scrolled across the wall here in Gainesville, one of the more famous walls, one of the landmarks. Tied at 7 as we get ready to start the third quarter of play. It'll be the Seminoles getting first possession of the third quarter. Emory Jones had a subpar first half with 3 interceptions. That last one a critical one as they were in the shadows of scoring a touchdown deep in the red zone. Meanwhile, Jordan Travis was shaken up in the first quarter, came back in the second quarter to lead his team down the field, capitalizing on an interception to tie the game at 7 apiece.
And you know, you talk about Emory Jones, and he had 1 interception in his last 4 games. He was actually making strides and improving week to week to week. And in the first half today, he's thrown 3 in a rivalry game, a bowl eligibility game. And if he's the only option that they have at quarterback, he's got to be able to come back and play better for his Gators.
Corbin watches it bounce out of bounds. It'll come all the way out with the flag down to the 35. Well, Robert, looking back, you're thankful at this time of the season and year for some big stuff, right?
Yeah, right there. You had the HBO breadbasket catch. These are some of the greatest plays we saw, right? Then we had the tiptoe of Philly down the sideline. Oh, he's down. No, he's not.
Wow, I remember that one. That was
You remember that play? That was a big one against Clemson, right? And then number 1 was the Caleb Williams play. It's 4th down. He says, give me them cookies. I want to go get the first down. Of course, Lincoln Riley said, you know, we coached that.
Yeah, we practiced
I don't
that.
believe him. I don't believe him. Not at all.
1st and 10, nowhere to go for Jayshon Corbin. That Toafili one where we thought he was down and he kept going was amazing.
Yeah, it was a special, very special play. And, you know, it's Thanksgiving time, and so thankful for this crew, my family, wife, my 3 daughters. It's just an amazing time to be alive.
Back to college football, which continues to return to normalcy. Jayshon Corbin picks up 5 on that catch and run. Sets up 3rd down here. About a long 5 to go. And there was a little movement up front on that Florida State offensive line.
Full start. Number 75, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Remember, Gibbons was the player that was whistled for the unsportsmanlike conduct foul. So they'll move it back, becomes 3rd and 11. That was the 4th penalty of the day for Florida State. They've gotten a lot better in that department as the year progressed. Travis sprints out, downfield, knocked away nicely at the 35 by Torrance. Truthfully, that wasn't even close to being completed, though.
Yeah,
well underthrown.
It wasn't, and that's why DBs play DB and wideouts play wide receiver, because Jordan Travis just gave them a gift there. If the safety could have just tracked the ball a little bit better, he would have had an interception.
So 4th down, in comes Alex Mastromano, averaging a little over 43 yards per punt on the season. This is going to be his 4th of the afternoon. Xavier Henderson standing right there at his own 25. A low line drive returnable punt from the 30. Henderson. Wow, he took a lick. And we got a flag. They might look at targeting here. A 36-yard punt, 15 on the return. Let's take one more look at the replay.
Oh,
I said they might look at targeting.
Yeah.
Personal foul, targeting, kicking team. The play is under further review.
Yeah.
Now I'm almost convinced that's going to be targeting, and that's Darion Williamson, who's a wide receiver. And we were just talking about the safety playing defense because he couldn't track the ball there that well.
That's why wide receivers play offense.
That's why wide receivers play offense. Listen, you don't want to launch, lead with your head, any of those things. And in that situation, they're most likely going to hit him with targeting.
Man, I'm glad you broke it down for me, man. Thanks.
After further review, there was a foul for targeting with the crown of the helmet. Number 21, kicking team. He is disqualified from the game.
Here's a look at the play. Darion Williamson, number 21, right there. And I think he checks all the boxes of the criteria here, Robert.
Yes, he does. It's a dangerous hit involving an upward thrust or severe strike. Check. Right? Forcible contact at head or neck area to defenseless receiver. Check. Any forcible hit by the crown of the helmet. He had all of those in one play. And I know people don't like the targeting rule, and it can be tough at times, but it's as much for the guy making the tackle as the guy who's being tackled. We're trying to protect players and their safety long-term, neck injuries, head injuries, and I think that's an important part of the game moving forward.
Jones on 2nd and 8. Down the middle of the field, hit the defender in the back of the helmet, Lundy. And it'll be 3rd down and 8. And a chorus of boos, Quint, coming down on Jones. Quint.
May the force be with you, Emory Jones. You got to take what's available and stop forcing the ball. That's the words of interim coach Greg Knox to me at halftime. I said, is Anthony Richardson available? He says yes. And guess who's in the game right now? Applause from 70,000. They've been hoping to see more, number 15.
6'4" freshman out of Gainesville, local product, 3rd and 8. Tough circumstance to come into the ball game, but he's done it before and answers the call again. Complete inside the 25 to Jacob Copeland. A 14-yard gain and a 1st down. Richardson rallied Florida in that LSU game with 4 consecutive touchdown drives, and then became the starter the following week against LSU.
Yeah, you see their Q-tips for the second half. We're seeing Richardson right here. Makes a nice scramble play, extending it and throwing it down the field, already making an impact.
Keeps it himself inside the 20. Brought down by Kalen DeLoach. Richardson a little bit bigger than Emory Jones, Robert. He goes 6'4", 236. Jones just, and I say just, 6'2", 211. Picked up 5. How does that impact what they do in their quarterback run game especially?
Yeah, I think you might see more quarterback power as opposed to the traditional zone read off the edge. But you also got to understand that Anthony Richardson did get hurt at the beginning of this game, so he's not quite 100%.
False start, number 51, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Earlier this year, Richardson became the first player in 25 years to pass for 150 yards and rush for over 100 yards and complete every pass in the game against University of South Florida, as Jones now watches Richardson at the helm of the offense.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just saw right there the false start by Stuart Reese, number 51, and that could be a byproduct of having a different quarterback in there with a different snap cadence and snap count.
Flag down. Richardson Going to tiptoe out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. Let's see what this flag is all about. There's a Seminole player shaken up at about the 27.
Holding, number 56, offense. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Let's take a look at this.
You see number 56, DeLance. He's right here, and he takes him down. Oh, hit him with a stunner. The WWE would love that one. And listen, I believe that's what? Is that Robert Cooper that he took down? That's a big man.
Yeah. Decline. Third down.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that one. Held him like a grudge.
Hey, if football doesn't work out, he can go ahead and call Vince McMahon.
So it's going to be third and about 8. Richardson keeps it, got about 5.
Oh.
And we got flags littering the field down there.
Mark, they're throwing hands down there.
We figured at some point they would be. We saw what happened pregame. They came dangerously close to an altercation. And there have been some post-whistle activities going on. You're going to get some chin checks going on during a rivalry game. They'll be bumping their gums a lot.
You see it right here, Cooper. Oh! Throws a punch at Shorter. And if you're Mike Norvell, you're telling your guy Cooper, why would you do that? In this situation, you are hurting your team. Not just yourself. You're hurting your team in that moment. And they're probably going to throw him out of the game for throwing a punch at the helmet of Shorter of the Gators.
Yeah, he tried to sneak him right there. That was a cheap shot.
After the play was over, there are personal fouls for unnecessary roughness by both teams. Number 56 offense, number 37 defense. The down counts. Fourth down, fouls offset.
Also, we had 2 different ones. Now, in all fairness, sometimes.
So Cooper hits Shorter in the head right there. They throw the flag on him. And apparently, somewhere, somehow, number 56, DeLance got a penalty as well, and they offset.
Now, that might have been the second. That might have been the retaliatory blow that we saw.
It might have been. I just wonder, how is Cooper staying in the game for throwing a punch?
Chris Howard in to attempt this field goal from 36 yards out, and he's going to give the Gators a 3-point lead. Chris Cooper gives them the advantage. He lost the job earlier this year when he missed the extra point against Alabama and has since reclaimed it. Gators with the lead when we come back to Gainesville. One more look at the abundance of altercations on the field, Robert, at the same time.
Exactly. You got these two up here, Cooper and Shorter, getting in a fight. And down here, we got our guy, DeLance, jumping on Keir Thomas, knocking his helmet off. Now listen, it's okay to get rough and tough and try to show him what you got, but you can't do that right there, Mr. Cooper. And his coach is probably telling him, man, you're lucky to be still in this game right now. Maybe because your hand was open and it wasn't closed, they left you in that bad boy. But these guys have to control their emotions better, because I can tell you right now, these refs will start throwing more and more flags to get this bad boy back under control.
Has all the characteristics of a bitter rivalry game. And a big hit. It looks like we got another flag. That hit coming a little bit late. Rashawn Corbin on the return.
During the return, holding, number 48 return team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
That's going to go against the offense. 11:04 to go in the third quarter. Jordan Travis in at quarterback for Florida State. Kind of sense that each team has gotten a little bit off track here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Respectively here in the third quarter.
You know, it's right after Thanksgiving. Maybe they didn't get enough plates of food at Thanksgiving or something, or they're looking forward to those leftovers. But right now, they need to focus in.
Florida and Florida State. Rivalry game up top. What a grab! OBJ in the house. Wilson. Wow. What a catch.
Oh, my Lord. Pokey Wilson. Why use two when you just need one, baby? Oh, Lord. Jordan Travis makes the throw. And Pokey Wilson, look at that. One hand.
Wow.
Caught it outstretched, tucked it in. He was looking to go score.
36 yards and a first down out to the 45-yard line. Ontario Wilson, the team's leading receiver yardage-wise, coming into the game this afternoon. Big play for the Seminoles. Little trips right formation. Travis gets rid of it quickly. Another catch to McDonald. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, guys, the opposite end of what's going on in sunny Florida is what's happening at the Big House. Snowy, cold, Hassan Haskins off the right side. Michigan grabs the lead, 21-13.
College football playoff implications in that one. 11-yard gain on that last catch. Travis surveys. Fires a dart. That was intended for Parchment. And they're going to say it's incomplete.
Offside. Number 1, defense, entering the neutral zone prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, Jonesy, in all the games we've called this year, we have seen Jordan Travis draw guys consistently offsides. And I can tell you, that's just such an important part of his game. His pre-snap and post-snap recognition, along with what he's doing at the line of scrimmage, has really taken his game to the next level.
Yeah, you look at his growth going back to last year. Pretty phenomenal. Swarmed, swallowed, sacked back at the 47-yard line. Brenton Cox with a little payback. Time now for today's Weekend Wake Up, brought to you by Wendy's Breakfast. With some great games coming up on the menu.
So the Iron Bowl there. Big 12 matchup. Oklahoma State.
Penn State, Michigan State, the Land Grant Trophy game. Loss of 7 on that sack. Blitz coming off the edge. Travis eludes the harm and turns it upfield. Travis finally pushed out of bounds. Picks up the first down. Man, you talk about having that astute awareness on the field, Robert. You see it right there from Jordan Travis.
Yes, you do, and this is the thing that you can't coach. We always say as a quarterback, we can make the free runner miss, and then Jordan Travis does the rest with his electrifying legs.
Taking a shot into the end zone up top. And incomplete, intended for McLean, the true freshman. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. The winner of this game becomes bowl eligible. The loser will have its season terminated.
Yes, and Jordan Travis, we talk about his legs and what he just did on the previous play. He makes defensive coordinators not get any rest because they know they can have the perfect coverage and he could still make them pay.
Toafili cuts it up into the middle of the field, down to the 29-yard line. Picked up 1, brought down by Bernie. So 3rd down coming up. What do you like in terms of targets here for Florida State or play call?
Yeah, 3rd and 9, and what we've seen Kenny Dillingham consistently do is move the pocket. He understands that this front that they're facing is a dominant one, and they've got 2 bookends. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him move the pocket once again and try to get the ball to Pokey Wilson, number 80.
Got 4 receivers to the bottom of your screen there. Travis under heat, got away, don't know how, still scrambling, finally sacked. Ball might have come out. And it's 4th down coming up. Boy, that front 4 brought some smoke.
And that's exactly why.
Timeout for an injured player.
That's exactly why they should have moved the pocket, because that front 4 has been wreaking havoc all day. Darius Washington had just given up a sack to number 1 Brenton Cox Jr. because he can't block the guy. You got to help them in those situations. And I think Kenny Dillingham is going to understand, looking at this, look, man, my guys can't block these guys. I got to move the pocket. I got to do some things to give them confidence.
Got a couple of players injured down on the field. One of them, Antonio Valentino. We're going to take a short break and come right back. Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Más Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag StudentSectionSauce to get the committee's attention. And go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Some passionate, exuberant fans here on hand at the Swamp. Florida leading at 10-7. 8:15 to go. The clock running here in the third quarter. Romano on the field, standing at his 50. Play clock down to 15. They're going to take a penalty here.
Looks like they want to get more room for the punt.
Delay of game. Offense. Penalties declined.
Oh.
Fourth down.
I was just going to ask you why you might want to take a penalty there.
Yeah, it's a little gamesmanship there. They're playing chess, not checkers.
The clock will start on the snap.
Novell wanted to take the penalty to maybe get some more breathing room to pin them back. And Greg Knox said, nah, I'm good.
Finally snap it, nose of the football down for Mastroianni, the Australian punter. And you couldn't have taken a pitching wedge out and pitched that thing any better.
Wow.
Down at about the 1 yard line. And now let's take a look at today's hardest working player, brought to you by Duluth Trading Company.
And here it is, it's Jordan Travis. And we saw early in the game, he went down, ooh, hurt the shoulder, came back in, ooh, hurt the shoulder again, went out, comes back out from the locker room. He says, I've got the magic in me. And he goes out there, he starts making plays with his legs and his arm, sparking the Seminoles, getting them back into this game, and really making the whole team feel like they've got a chance.
He got some magic inside that locker room.
Yeah, he does.
He got Will. Got the magic. Was that from Frozen? What was that?
I don't even know. I don't know where that came from. I think my daughters got that one into me.
1st and 10. Richardson at the ball game at quarterback completes this pass to the edge to Copeland. See the good arm strength by Anthony Richardson. Jarian Jones making the tackle on the play. Picked up 6. 2nd down and 4 for the Gators. Jones and Richardson have a very, very close relationship. They work together in the quarterback room and good friends outside of it as well. The give is to Pierce. Picks up about 2.5. Gainer making the tackle. Q?
Yeah, Garrick McGee, their offensive coordinator, told me just that. He said, you know, it's really hard to develop depth in this day and age of the transfer portal. But in their case, they've got Emory Jones and Richardson who actually love each other and treat each other as brothers. It's a rarity right now, and it's something that coaches have to manage. You got an unhappy quarterback, he's in the portal.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes these days. Nowhere to go for Dameon Pierce. And it looks like the Gators have a 4th down here coming up, and they'll have to punt. Keir Thomas making the stop. There he is, number 4, the native of Miami, Florida. Went to Miami Central High School, played for the Rockets. Had a great visit with his father a couple of weeks ago when we were doing the Florida State-Miami game. And I asked Dad, I said, what would you want people to know about your son? He said, Mark, my son, Keir, loves football. Watches it all the time. Loves to play it all the time. As a kid growing up in Miami, even in the thunderstorms and the rain, he would make me want to go outside and throw it around with him. He would beg him to. A fumble, loose, and the Gators have it. Wilson bobbled it, and it went right to the Gators.
Play on the field is that the kick was muffed. kicking team. First down.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. In these big-time rivalry games, the job of the special teams is to set up their offense and or their defense. And in that situation, Pokey Wilson muffed the punt and gave it right back to the Florida Gators. And you see it right there. He claps his hands. He knows, man, that just can't happen. And we talked to interim head coach Greg Knox, and he said the special teams of the Gators hasn't been playing as well as he wants them to. But that's on him. He's going to get him motivated to go.
The previous play of a kick being muffed by the receiving team and recovered by the kicking team is under further review.
All right, 60-yard punt and recovered by Xavier Henderson. Robert, just the way that Ontario Wilson was retreating and backpedaling there, side-pedaling almost, you could tell that he didn't look comfortable to an extent, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if he saw it, but I know our guy Crawshaw booted the heck out of that one, and he gives the signal for a fair catch because he's running backwards. I don't know why he did that, but you can see the ball go off the front of his fingers, right. And he knows it. His reaction to try to go get the ball and clapping his hands once the defender picks it up, he knows that he touched it. It's just an unfortunate situation in a big-time rivalry game.
He made the signal, it appears, for the fair catch, but doesn't matter. You still got to catch it.
Yeah, you can do the signal, but listen, man, you got to catch the rock.
Right. And Henderson right there for the Gators. Florida will have the ball if it stands at the 33.
But look at that. Look at the sun. He was probably looking into the sun when that ball went up in the air. And you know what they tell you when the ball goes into the sun? Catch the dot. Catch the sun. That's what they normally say. But I've been in those situations, not gonna lie to you. It's actually really hard to see the ball.
Hey, you know what? When you practice and play down here in the great Sunshine State for that long, the sun becomes a part of it.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
You get used to it. Sometimes it can cause an error like that. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gators from Florida State's 33. Anthony Richardson in at quarterback.
Yeah, you could just see him right there on the sideline. He was squinting, looking up into the sky like, man, son, why'd you do that to me?
You think they take a shot here, Robert, after the miscue?
Well, they did last time, and that didn't turn out well for him, so I wouldn't do it here.
They tried the flea flicker, didn't work out. Richardson looking to pass, and he threw it low. He had a man wide open. Gamble was uncovered. He taps his chest and says, "That's on me. My bad." Wow.
Yeah, you know, right there you see Anthony Richardson. Right here. Let's talk about Pokey Wilson. He's looking up at the sunlight. Come on, man. You ever see the basketball player or a receiver drop a pass and he looks at his hands? That ain't your hands' fault, man. That's your fault. You got to make that play.
You can't fire your hands. 2nd and 10. Richardson going to be sacked. Jermaine Johnson flagged down as well. Johnson continues to put money on tape. Yeah, we can hear you. Can see you too. Johnson with his 12th sack of the season if it stands. And that's going to be a hold against the Gators.
Holding. Number 65, offense. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Johnson had another big week last week as we check in with the studio.
All right, guys, you have a developing situation at the big house. Hassan Haskins off the left side. Michigan up 28-13 on 2nd-ranked Ohio State.
Oh, wow. 3rd quarter. Getting kind of hectic out there.
It's getting hectic.
3rd and 21. Back at the 44 for Florida. Empty formation, 5 receivers. Richardson steps up, delivers. Strike complete down the sidelines. Still on his feet. Davis with a fantastic run after the catch. And relentless effort to pick up the 1st down.
And on the previous play, we had Jermaine Johnson get a sack, right? And they held him a little bit. Well, Anthony Richardson saw that and said, that ain't gonna happen this time. He scrambled up into the pocket and found Malik Davis on the sideline, and he did the rest.
Picked up 22. Richardson hands it off between the tackles, hard running. That's Malik Davis for 6. Davis out of Tampa, Florida. Another one of those Florida area guys that decided to attend school here in Gainesville. Native of Tampa. They got so many great football programs in that Tampa area. Plant High School, just one of them. 2nd and 4. What a pitch. This is the tight end, Gamble. And Gamble picks up another first down. I like that little wrinkle right there, Robert.
Yeah, I feel like every offense has that little shuffle pass in there now. Made popular by plenty of offenses, but most recently Patrick Mahomes. But he's just reading the defensive end there, Jermaine Johnson. He comes to him, he pitches it underneath. If he would have stayed underneath, he would have taken it outside.
1st and goal on the 8-yard gain.
Again, another play made by Gamble. Remember, he has his mom here for the first time.
Fumble.
In the game.
Picked up. Not the way they drew it up. They'll take it anyway. 4-yard gain by Davis. So we talked about going deep into the playbook. That's the old fumble the snap. Let the tailback pick it up for 4.
Exactly how they drew it up.
Yeah.
You know?
2nd and goal coming up.
But as I was saying with Kamari Gamble, continuing to make plays. As we talked about earlier, our guy Quint had that beautiful story about his mom and how she had to fight COVID and how she's here today. It's good to see him making plays in front of his mother.
Richardson hands it off. Nowhere to go that time. Jermaine Johnson stops up Davis right at the line of scrimmage. Jermaine Johnson making another play for that defense. A guy that began his collegiate football journey at Independence Community College, playing for Jason Brown, head coach there. Georgia transfer. Had another big week last week against BC's. 3rd and goal coming up. Seminoles got an interception last time the Gators were in the red zone. Richardson into the end zone. Caught, wow, miraculously. Shorter.
And that, people, is exactly why Gator Nation has wanted to see Anthony Richardson out there playing quarterback. 3rd and goal, crucial point in the game. He gets the ball to Justin Shorter, one of their best receivers, just over Jerry Jones' outstretched hand. And here's his reaction. Hey, I do this, baby. This is what you want. Are you not entertained?
His 6th touchdown pass of the season, Robert, against 5 interceptions. And man, he laid that, like you said, right over the DB's outstretched arm. And for Shorter, that was his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. The Gators now leading by 10, 17-7. There have been some real skillful plays that we've seen here this afternoon. Look at this by Wilson.
Wilson pulls in the OBJ-like catch with one hand, right? And then just now, we see a very confident touch throw by Anthony Richardson to the back of the end zone to Justin Shorter as they get there. Oh!
That's a whole lot of dap going on.
Oh, okay, big fella, get in there too then.
We had some flags on the field after the extra point. 2:09 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Gators trying to snap their 2-game losing streak and end the Seminoles' 2-game winning streak in the process.
After the play was over, there were unsportsmanlike conduct fouls by both teams, both players. First in the game, number 18, Florida State, number 91, Florida. The foul's offset. We'll have a kickoff.
You know what, Robert? I love football in the park. I love sports in the park. I got no problem with guys talking junk to each other, right? My feeling is you shouldn't be.
Correction, 91 Florida State, 18 Florida.
Shouldn't be playing sports.
91 Florida State has an unsportsmanlike conduct. 18 Florida has an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Just say the whole team has an unsportsmanlike conduct. Come on, man. What is going on
My
here?
feeling is officials shouldn't have to worry about guys feeling disrespected or the like, because you shouldn't be playing sports if you're afraid of your feelings being hurt. That's just the way it is. If a guy scores on you, you should be able to express yourself.
Yeah, Listen, you put a lot of work in to go out there. Oh my goodness, let's count. All these
just
flags.
throw them all.
1,
Throw 'em
2,
all.
3.
Throw them all.
I think they got
Throw
a flag
'em all.
over here too.
I'll get one and throw it too.
Listen, these guys work so hard to do the job that they do. They gotta show emotion when they make a play. They can't show too much emotion or degrade other people.
Right.
And I understand that from a role model perspective. But you can't take the emotion out of this game, right?
How many we got down there? I see 3 right there. 4.
2, 3, 4. They probably got one in the middle of them as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They all threw the flags. They're trying to control this game, right? Because they know it's such a big rivalry. It's hate week. Right. People here between these two teams, they do not like each other. But at the same time, they can't take the passion away from the players that play the game.
I love me some gamesmanship. Some junk talk. 1st and 10. Jordan Travis. Complete out to the 34-yard line. Well, it's rivalry week here in college football. We'll cap our Saturday tripleheader on ABC with the 116th annual Bedlam game. Oklahoma State, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, ABC, and the app. Helton made that last catch for 9 yards. 2nd and 1. Travis, one-on-one coverage. Wrestled away, intercepted.
Interception. First down.
Jason Marshall wrestling the ball away from Andrew Parchment. And they're going to have a look at this.
Yeah, there's a couple fans, and even Jordan Travis is in the back saying it was an incomplete pass. But one way or another, it looked like he hijacked that bad boy from Andrew Parchment.
On the previous play of an interception is under further review.
Oh, I don't know, man. You can see that the ball kind of hits the ground, but I think he already had control by the time it got there.
That's an obstructed view.
It came out the back end there, too.
Yeah, that's not definitive. This might be a better angle. Man, they were wrestling each other down the sideline.
Yeah, they were. It's right there. It's out a little bit.
I think it hit the ground.
It hit the ground. I think it hit the ground for sure. It's just a matter of did he lose control when it hit the ground, right?
Yep.
Jason Marshall Jr. telling me to shut up. Okay? I'm a DB and I can track the ball.
Trying to take his numbers away.
Look at that. He tracks the ball. And it's right there. You see Parchment's hand in there. Right there.
Parchment did a nice job to try and rip it out at the end.
Oh, man, if you're the quarterback, you love what Andrew Parchment just did right there. To play DB, to keep the interception off the board. The question is there enough evidence there to say it's an incomplete pass?
Right. Well, the call on the field was an interception.
So I guess the question
is indisputable evidence
to overturn it.
Yep. Great play, though, by Jason Marshall. Freshman out of Miami, Florida. Another one of those South Florida players that the Gators have been drawing for a long time.
We get another look at it right here. Marshall tracks it.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah, they said right there, the ruling on the field stands. It looks like it's coming out, but it gets pinned against his side and his arm. I'm not going to lie, that last look right there made it look like it wasn't an interception, but clearly there wasn't enough evidence for them to overturn it.
It'll be 1st down and 10 the other way for the Gators from their own 32-yard line. And on the last drive, if you're just joining us, Anthony Richardson for the 2nd consecutive series in for Emory Jones, leading his team down the field into the end zone. Damian Pierce in a tailback on 1st and 10. Richardson hands it off, and Pierce broke a tackle, got about 6 as we go back to the studio.
Robin, avert your eyes. Texas Tech Baylor. Baylor needs this game, but Texas Tech won't go away. McLean Mannix, the touchdown. It is now 2017. Baylor holding on in the fourth.
2nd and 5. Richardson hands it off again to Pierce. Pierce picks up the first down, kept those legs churning. Looking for a face mask call, won't get it, but he gets the first down. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter, he got 8. And Florida going with a little bit of tempo here. Richardson going to simply hand it off again to Pierce. Boy, he is bringing some mean, malicious intentions behind those shoulder pads. A 13-yard gain.
Timeout for an injured player.
We get a player shaken up on the field. Back at the 43.
I was going to say, Dameon Pierce is running with the full veracity of what a rivalry game is. He is out there trying to put a hurting on these defensive players as he's running down the middle of the field. Look at the look in his face. He said, I should have been had these carries.
Hey, folks, next Sunday we'll have the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff matchups in the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl, to be played New Year's Eve on ESPN. Reese and the guys will also unveil the New Year's 6 bowl games and have a final top 25 rankings in this 4-hour special. Noon Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app, one tap. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. That's Gene DeLance walking off the field. Quint? Q?
When we talked to Greg Knox this week, interim coach at Florida, our biggest question was, what's the emotional temperature of your team? What's their readiness emotionally? Well, I think they've answered that today. I think you've seen toughness. I think you've seen a team that wants to win this rivalry game at home on Senior Day. Their effort right now is speaking volumes about their intention. These fans have supported them. Nobody is left. They're here. It means a lot. They want to finish on an upward note.
Yeah, great point, Q. They showed up by the tens of thousands here today when it would have been easy to dismiss this team because of their high standards and their subpar record, frankly, this year.
And yeah, Quint, you're exactly right. Not only has the team showed up, Jonesy, not only have the fans showed up.
The foul's offset. The result of the play is a first down. It is both players' first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Couple more. All right.
But not only did both of those sacks show up today, they showed up after their coach Dan Mullen was fired. As you said to me some time ago, unceremoniously, right?
Right.
He was fired, and they still showed up today because this means something to them. It means something to them to protect the swamp, to go out in the right way, regardless of what's to come after today's game.
We had a couple of more unsportsmanlike penalties a moment ago. One of these signatures that you'll always find in a rivalry game. If it doesn't have a little bit of animus or maliciousness and intensity, it's just not a rivalry. Well, these two schools are separated by 150 miles. But their proximity right now on the field, speaking to that intensity. They'll turn it up for the fourth when we come back. This is ESPN College Football presented by Marathon. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. 15 minutes to go in the 65th edition of Florida against Florida State. And this in-state rivalry beginning to live up to its billing. Marked by a lot of intensity so far. Stuff that has gone beyond the whistle, too. Richardson on the move. Great spin, brought down to the 12. So there's some of the running ability that we've heard about and seen earlier. He picks up 17 to move the sticks.
Yeah, and Anthony Richardson's been a little reluctant to scramble because we saw him get hurt earlier in the game, and he came in with a hamstring injury. But right there, he looked mighty healthy getting down the field into the red zone.
Hands it off to Pierce. Great cutback. Pierce lost his hat, but not his mind. Touchdown! But there's a flag down.
The play is dead whenever Dameon Pierce's helmet comes off. But look at that emotion that he's showing right there. He didn't care about the helmet. Like you said, Joseph, he lost his mind. He was ready to get in the end zone.
It takes a special type of dude, Robert, to keep running without your helmet on.
Oh, what you mean a special type of dude?
Boy, that was a real portrait of intensity and determination. And look at this.
Yeah, you see it right here. Jamie Robinson takes his helmet off. He says, shoot, man, you can take that. I'm going to go to the end zone anyway. And this man dived into the end zone.
Head first
with no helmet on. If that doesn't tell you how much he wants this, how much these Gators want to win this game, I don't know what does.
Right there, he took a hit.
Look at him.
Hey, you can't touch me.
Hey, he's saying they sleep. They've been sleeping on me all day. I don't need a helmet.
By rule, the ball became dead when the runner's helmet came off. However, he continued to participate. That's a personal foul for continuing to participate without a helmet.
Oh, my goodness.
15-yard penalty. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 10 defense. That penalty may enforce half the distance to the goal after enforcement of the personal foul on Florida and will result in an automatic first down.
Now, I'm not sure if that's a poorly written rule or what, but I'm not sure how the player's supposed to immediately turn it off in the middle of a play like that.
No, George, I'm with you.
Right? Robert, you
right
played
here in this moment, when you're playing, you're running, and you see the end zone, you can smell the grass. Right?
How is that in
that moment right there? We never are taught to stop just because our helmet comes off. So yes, that might be a rule, but him finishing the play and being punished for that?
Yeah, that's an ill-conceived rule if that's the case.
Man.
To call it unsportsmanlike and penalize, we understand the spirit of player safety, but for players in the moment, if you're really in the moment, Robert, to say, oh, I've lost my helmet, I'm on the 2-yard line in the middle of a rivalry game, and it's intense, and I need to score here, to say, no, I'm supposed to stop right at that moment, right there, that's impossible.
Players are not built that way, and if they are built that way, they're not playing at Florida or Florida State.
Malik Davis in now. Richardson going to try and take off on his own and pushed out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. Still kind of shaking off the reverberations of that last play. Pierce, with great effort and relentlessness, literally penalized for it.
Yeah, and like you said, I understand the nature of the rule. Protected player, not having the helmet on puts him in a dangerous situation. But then to penalize him for then going and running into the end zone and diving head first.
They need to have more players on some of these rule committees.
You trying to sign me up for that?
Yeah, you're gonna go see your friends down in Dallas soon.
Oh, here we go with the friends.
Your friends on the committee.
Oh man!
2nd and goal coming up for the Gators. We got a timeout on the field. Both teams with 3 remaining. Look at these two guys, Shorter and Cooper. Now they're at the point where they're just trying to sell unsportsmanlike fouls.
She's seen these two the whole game. They've been roughing it up with each other. She understands that.
It is 2nd down. The previous play was 1st down. One play's been run, so the down is 2nd. The dead ball personal foul in Florida State resulted in an automatic 1st down. So it is now 2nd down.
Man, listen, they must be making up They making up rules and violations now. They throwing flags for all types of stuff right now.
I saw a man get punched in the face today and still play.
We got 16 penalties for 158 yards. Man, the refs got more yardage than these guys in the running game.
17-7. Anthony Richardson leading his team downfield again here.
Jonesy, I ask you this. If you're a defender and your helmet comes off and you can make a game-saving touchdown tackle, do you make that tackle?
Of course.
And take the penalty?
Sure.
Exactly. I don't understand that rule to its entirety.
That one needs a rewrite. 2nd and goal from the 7. Player safety is a great thing, though. They option it to the wide side of the field. A good cut up by Davis. He's going to be stopped short of the end zone by McClellan at about the 2.
Yeah, Malik Davis there hit him with the stanky leg as he was getting over there to the sideline and almost snuck in there for a touchdown.
Picked up 2. They spot the ball at the 5. And look who's back in the ball game. Damian Pierce. He lost his helmet a couple of plays ago, was penalized for it.
See Malik Davis right here from the pylon cam. He's just going to sneak in there. Oh, look, that foot. That foot saved a touchdown. You never know what it's going to be.
3rd and goal. They fake the jet sweep. Richardson will not get into the end zone. Stopped up at about the 3. So 4th and goal coming up. You lead by 10. And Coach Knox with a little bit of a decision here in this rivalry game. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field and go for it.
As Quint said earlier in the game, Coach Knox, deadpan, no emotion. He didn't even have a second thought right now about whether he was going to go for it on 4th down or not. He's trusting those big fellas up front and the quarterback who has given them a spark today, Anthony Richardson, to make the right play.
Pierce in the game. Their 59% conversion rate on 4th down, 13-22. Here he is again, no doubt about that. Kept his hat on and left no doubt. Touchdown Gators.
Damian Pierce penetrates the defense right down the middle. Wasn't touched. Hole so big we all could have fit through it. No wonder Coach Knox wanted to go for it on 4th down because he knew he had the right play and all he had to do was give it to the man who was willing to go try and score a touchdown, jump in the end zone with his helmet off. He rewarded that man right there for his hard work and his effort. And they got the swamp rocking right now.
That's his 12th rushing touchdown of the season, 22nd of his career. And it's 24-7.
And you see him here just hand the ball off to Damian Pierce. He says, listen here, it takes a special man to run around with no helmet, so we're going to give you the ball when you got one.
Well, the National Football Foundation allows College Football Hall of Famers to receive an on-campus salute this fall before they're formally inducted in December. Today, the University of Florida salutes Lomas Brown, who was a consensus first-team All-American in 1984. Congratulations. Shout out to Lomas. One of the all-time greats here at the University of Florida. Corbin on the kickoff return. And Corbin takes it out to the 29. Let's check in with the studio.
Guys, Baylor and Texas Tech continues to get interesting. Travis Kuntz here on a screen, has a convoy, goes 75 yards for the touchdown. And right now, Baylor clinging to a 27-24 lead late in the 4th. And a score in Michigan, Ohio State. Buckeyes have scored. That one 28-20 right now. Michigan has the ball deep in Ohio State territory.
All right, Matt, back here, Florida State. 1st and 20 from their own 29. Jordan Travis still in at quarterback, hands it off to Ward. Trayshawn Ward, pardon me, Toafili picks up 6 on the play. Lawrence Toafili out of St. Petersburg, Florida.
So now for Florida State, you got to have Jordan Travis.
Timeout for an injured player.
Man, the wear and tear of the season is really starting to get to both of these teams as we're seeing guys going down left and right almost every other play.
Yeah, that's parchment.
Yeah, he's got to pray that these guys are okay and can finish the game. For Parchment, just want him to get up and get to the sideline, get looked at, and hopefully he can come back into the game.
Sunday we'll have the ESPN Events Invitational Consolation Game between number 4 Kansas and Iona. 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on ESPN and the App One Tap. The championship game between Dayton and Belmont is on ESPN2 at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Man, Anthony Grant has done a fantastic job with that Dayton Flyers team over the last few years. Former assistant coach here at the University of Florida with Billy Donovan back in the day.
Yeah, and so is Patino at Iona, right?
Yep. Travis, I tell you what, he got some shape in his game. Great cutback. Jordan Travis on the way down to the 30. Finally pushed out of bounds.
I can tell you what, Jordan Travis, I like his legs. You like him?
Yes, very much.
I just was saying that they need him to step up and make a play to get them back into this game emotionally. And what does he do? Johnny on the spot, puts the team on his back, putting on for his city, trying to get him back in this thing.
1st and 10 from the 31. Gets rid of it quickly. That's to his back. Trayshawn Ward, a good receiver as well. 11:14 to go here in the 4th quarter. Knows the ball at the 33.
Yeah, down 17. Florida State's got to go faster than they've ever gone before. Open up the formations. Give Jordan Travis an opportunity to see the defense and have scramble lanes.
They go empty again. Travis going to take off. And wisely makes a great career move. Steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Picks up 4. So 3rd down coming up for the Seminoles.
Yeah, it was a very smart decision by him right there to just try to get out of bounds and avoid the hit. And I can just see it. I can sense it. Some players just have it. And Jordan Travis right now is trying to put the team on his back and do it himself. I just hope he understands that he doesn't have to do that, but he is giving them a spark as they move down the field. And it's 3rd and 9. They need him now more than ever.
What a grab for the 1st down by McClain. And Travis threw a frozen rope on this one.
Yes, he did. Malik McClain caught that pass. And he also had a really nice touchdown catch last week against Boston College. He's really come on as of late.
Travis going to the end zone. Incomplete. And no flag on the play intended for Ja'Kai Douglas. Torrance there in coverage for the Gators. 2nd and 10 coming up. Off the clock with 9:53 to go. Ball at the 19-yard line. Florida State trying to
You can see Jordan Travis hurting there right now. Maybe it's a little bit of the shoulder. Maybe it's a little bit of his wind. He needs to take a deep breath because his team needs him to be pinpoint accurate right now down here in the red zone.
Going to hand it off. Ward breaking it. Touchdown! And the Seminoles with the score. Trayshawn Ward, one of the real important cogs of that rushing attack, alongside Jashawn Corbin, scores his 4th touchdown of the season, 5th of his career, and the former walk-on from Plant City, Florida. Brings his Seminoles a little bit closer. They're one of those in-state players.
You know, sometimes as a quarterback, the best decision you can make is to hand the ball off to the running back. That's part of your job as well. So Jordan Travis understood he doesn't have to do it himself, and he gives the ball to Trayshawn Ward, the former walk-on, who walks into the end zone.
ESPN College Football is presented by Marathon, driven forward, and in part by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
While the University of Florida integrated in 1958, it wasn't until 1968 that Florida had Leonard George break the color line for the school in football. On the day after his signing, he was joined by Willie Jackson. While they both went on to be three-year lettermen, George had another distinction as he became the first black player to score a touchdown against Alabama in Tuscaloosa. For more stories of Black history always, go to theundefeated.com. And in this season of giving thanks and in the wake of Thanksgiving, thank you for pioneers like those two gentlemen that helped pave the way for many more others to come. College football roughly 55% African American, and I always admire, Robert, the courage of those pioneers having to not only perform on the field but also exist in a somewhat segregated South, not being able to sleep in the same hotels with their teammates, not being able to eat at the same counters with their teammates, and still being able to succeed.
Yeah, and you spoke to all of that, and I'm also appreciative of guys like that, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to play that game. A lot of the players that you see on the field today would not be able to play this game at this level. They are the pioneers, and we are forever in their debt.
Richardson run out of bounds, gain of 5. Quint?
Leonard George went on to become a lawyer, and then that touchdown he scored at Alabama in Tuscaloosa in 1970 led to integration of the schools of the Old South, that is LSU, Alabama, and Ole Miss in 1970 and 1971. And in our journeys this fall, guys, it just amazes me. Michigan and Nebraska had black players in 1890. Fred Patterson played for Ohio State in 1891. We saw Jack Trice at Iowa State back in 1922, and Hamilton Green at Wisconsin in the 1920s. And just amazing to think that it took the Southern schools 50 more years to integrate.
Well said, Quint.
Yeah, I just want to say, Quint, thank you. Thank you for sharing these stories with the public, because it's a guy like Willie Jackson who said what we went through, what we did, what it meant, it didn't fall through the cracks. We made a difference, and you sharing those stories is also making a difference. Thank you, brother.
The more reading and education you do about these men, the more impressive it becomes. The jeers, the taunts, understanding that on the field they were intimidated, they were physically treated in a way they probably didn't deserve, definitely didn't deserve, and they couldn't retaliate. They had to show such courage and such patience and such resolve, and they're all their own Jackie Robinson stories, every single one of them.
Yeah, great point. Malik Davis with nowhere to go, brought down for a loss about 2 by Jamie Robinson, who has been ubiquitous today for that Florida State defense. He has been all over the field. Under 8 minutes to go, 3rd down coming up for Florida State. Boy, coming into the afternoon, you could only imagine what a win would have meant or could still mean for Florida State in Mike Norvell's 3rd year, to be able to get to a bowl game in what is a pretty significant rebuild at Florida State.
Yeah, and they're going to need a stop here on 3rd and 11 to get back into this game.
Richardson. Incomplete, so the defense is going to get off the field for Florida State, and they'll get the ball back here. It was intended for Kamari Gamble. Good coverage by Kalen DeLoach.
Yes, it was. And you mentioned Jamie Robinson and how he's been all over the field. He's got 18 tackles today. That's the definition of a man who knows this game means a lot to him. They have not quit. They have not stopped. They're down 24-14 with 7 minutes left in the game, and their defense is giving the ball right back to their offense, who just found life on their last possession.
Remember, they had a fumbled punt earlier, but not this time. Ontario Wilson not back there. They change it up on the punt return. It went 47 yards. Travis with the ball when we come back. And now let's take a look at today's More Driven moment, brought to you by Goodyear. You speak to somebody driven? That's a snapshot of somebody driven right there. Some determined running by Pierce for the Gators. on a couple of instances, one of them without a helmet. Good numbers today, averaging 5.3 for carry. And that touchdown not that long ago.
He had 50 yards on the last touchdown drive. I don't know about you, but I want a guy like that on my little league team or any team that I'm coaching or playing on.
Seminoles got to get to work here on offense. Between the tackles, Corbin with nowhere to go. Corbin, the Texas A&M transfer. He's been a real leader for that Florida State offense, a big part of their resurgence during the last 7 games, of which they've won 5. At that big 89-yard touchdown run against Notre Dame early in the season and their season opener. Travis pulls it out, and he's going to be sacked by Brenton Cox. It's his second one of the afternoon.
And you know, I talked about these bookends at the beginning of the broadcast, and now you're going to put a tight end to block Brenton Cox Jr. No wonder he's going to win that matchup. You don't put tight ends to block guys that have 8-9 sacks on the season.
Bad formula, huh?
Not a good formula for success at all.
3rd and long, 15 to go. Got to get to the 27. Blitz coming. Travis eludes it. And just brought down by his shoelaces from behind. What a great tackle from Bogle. He picked up 6, but man, had he gotten away, he had a lot of room in front of him, Robert.
Yeah, Jordan Travis was ready to go make one of those special plays happen, but Chris Bogle just got him by the shirt, right? He gets out, he gets the back of the jersey.
It's a shirt.
He just grabbed him by the back of the shirt. Maybe if he had it tucked in, maybe he wouldn't have been able to get it. You know, sometimes
now you're going to call the dress police on them. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, we already got enough policing going on out here. So
flags today. Jordan Travis coming off the field on 4th and 9.
So now they're going to have to rely on their defense to get them the ball back to try to get back in contention.
Fair catch called back at the 34 by Henderson. After the 47-yard punt, the Gators trying to make it 3 in a row against the Seminoles when we return. Well, you can't say enough about the fantastic job that Dave Aranda has done this year. Think about, what was it, 3 wins last year? Pierce with a nice run off left tackle out to the 40-yard line. Another one of the great coaching jobs this season. Under 5 minutes to go. Florida with the football, 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, you know, you talked about Dave Aranda and what he's done at Baylor, and last year in a COVID year, they don't have the success.
3 wins, right?
Yeah, that they're not expecting, and this just shows you when you stick with the coach and you believe in his foundation and his drive and vision, that great things can happen. And maybe that's a testament to talk to the Gators and Florida State Seminoles about what they should do with their coaching searches and their coaching job.
Right now the Gators actively looking. Coach Knox taking the reins of the team in the wake of Dan Mullen being dismissed earlier this week. 4:19 to go, and there's several schools looking for coaches right now in the coaching search across the country, Robert.
Yeah, there are, and you know, there's plenty opportunities out there for coaches. We mentioned some of the minority coaches that are out there that aren't necessarily getting the attention that we believe that they deserve. But these programs like the Florida Gators is such a prestigious job. LSU is another, USC is another one, and you just wouldn't imagine that all of these programs would have openings at the same time. But who's going to get the coach that's going to turn things around for them?
And then you look at some of the coaching contracts that have been awarded this week at Penn State with Coach Franklin, Michigan State, their $95 million deal.
Yeah, I can only imagine what his buyout is. But listen, teams are realizing if you have a good one, don't let them go. The landscape of college football is going to be changing over the next couple of years. You want to have someone that can steady that ship for you.
3rd down and 1. Richardson can try and do it himself. Let me go back to the contract stuff. And I'll never forget what former Minnesota Gopher coach told me, Glenn Mason. 25 years ago. He had just signed his new deal with the Gophers. And he said, Mark, it's interesting when it comes to football coaches in college and their contracts. He said, the first page tells you how much they're going to pay you during the term of the deal, and the next 20 pages tell you what they're going to do when they fire you. 10 of 14 head coaches will have been in their positions for 2 or fewer seasons.
Entering next year. Wow.
That is a short cycle. Let's check in with the studio.
Guys, a little housekeeping for you. Anthony Brown and that Civil War, Oregon and Oregon State coming up in under 10 minutes. If your guys' game extends, we will move this over to ESPN2. Again, if Florida and Florida State extends, Oregon and Oregon State will move over to ESPN2, then we'll bump it back here to ESPN.
Some of the coaches with 4 fewer years at their respective schools. Matt Wells fired several weeks ago. Jimmy Lake, the same fate at Washington. Nick Rolovich's situation a little bit more complex because he refused to get the vaccine at Washington State.
Ruling on the field that the runner was short of the line to gain is under further review.
And you look at those coaches and the longevity, or should I say the time that they were given at these programs, but what are you telling the athletes? What are these guys supposed to do? They're coming to a school, they're committing not only to the school, but they're committing to the coach, to the vision that that coach has for them. And that's why the transfer portal has become such a big deal, where now guys can go to different schools and play immediately.
Right.
So
back on the field, meanwhile, they are reviewing this last play. Trying to determine the line of scrimmage.
yeah, they're trying to see if Anthony Richardson got the first down, and just from the eye test, as some of our people in the College Football Playoff Committee like to use, it appears that he did get the line to gain. Trenton Whittemore thinks so. He's giving the first down signal, you know. I don't know why he would give any other signal.
Gators trying to put this on ice. Big weekend in college football here on the last Saturday of November. The Michigan-Ohio State game. Saw what Baylor did. Got Bedlam coming up.
Yeah, so here's another quarterback, just power, right? They're just trying to get him in there with blockers in front of him. And I guess they're just trying to see if maybe his elbow or his knee went down before he crossed that yellow line that is just an approximation that was on the screen before. I just don't see any evidence that would tell them to either move the ball forward or move the ball back.
Right. Well, the ruling on the field is that he was short of the first down. Remember that yellow line that you see on our screen is merely an approximation. It is not exact.
Did you see a camera angle where you could see a knee go down? I haven't seen one yet, but as I said, it looks like he got the first down. Yeah, I mean,
in that pile, it looks like he
did. It looks like he got the first down in the pile. His knee kind of goes down. His knee is down now, right? His knee's down right there. Yeah, good luck trying to figure out where to spot that ball.
You know what? With all the technology we have these days, Robert, you should put like a computer chip in the football with some kind of laser on the sideline with the chains, line it all up, and take all the inexact part of it out of it.
You know, I wouldn't actually be opposed to that. I think there's some people out there that feel like there's human error, right? And we should allow the game to have some.
Well, then we need to take away all the video stuff then.
That is true. That is true.
Well, it's the story of the 1957 Auburn National Championship football team and the dark secret that running back Bobby Hoppe kept for more than 30 years. SEC storied film, The Trials of Bobby Hoppe, premieres Thursday, December 2nd. 7 o'clock Eastern on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. So the ruling on the field stands. And it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, it just seems like when you look at all those camera angles to the On the eye test, it looks like a first down, but they can't confirm it, and because they can't confirm it without a shadow of a doubt, they have to make the call stand.
Fifth punt of the afternoon for Jeremy Brayshaw.
Florida State has not charged a timeout because the play was placed under review. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. The clock is correct and will start on my signal.
Jay Davis back for the punt at his own 10. Davis with a fair catch around the 9-yard line on the 48-yard punt. Let's go back to the studio.
Guys, barring anything weird, it would appear that Michigan.
All right, first down and 10 for the Seminoles. Got to get to work quickly here, down by 10. Travis out of the end zone, steps up. Spin, ball comes out and caught by one of his own players. Jordan Wilson was there with an alert, astute play, and he actually picked up about 6 yards on the play.
I would say that's almost like in basketball when you see a player make a shot or shoot it, and you're like, oh, what are you doing? And he makes the shot, right? Or something crazy happens. Jordan Wilson, Johnny on the spot, gets him some more yards.
Wow. From the 14, 2nd and 4. Travis was looking for the bubble screen to his receiver. Instead, he ends up running it, sets up a 3rd and short.
You see it here again, right? Jordan Travis steps up in the pocket. He's running. Everyone says, oh, no, the ball is loose. Jordan Wilson says, I got you. I got you. Let's just take this forward. But listen, Florida State has to push the ball down the field. They do not have enough time to keep dinking and dunking and having Jordan Travis run for 2 or 3 yards here and there.
3rd and 1. There's a flag down on the field. Might be offsides, Florida. That pass out to the 40-yard line. They're going to rule it a catch to Douglas. Wow, he got down on the turf and hauled it in for a 23-yard pickup.
Offside. Defense number 8 entering the neutral zone prior to the snap. Penalties decline. Result of the play. It's a completed catch for a first down.
Yeah, we're going to have to look at. They better run this play quick because Ja'Kai Douglas didn't look very confident about that catch as he goes down. Oh, it looked like it slipped through.
Ruling on the previous play of a completed catch is under further review.
You gave it. You put it out there, Robert.
I
so
tried
to review it.
I tried to tell him. Listen, they needed to get the play going. Look, Jordan Travis, run a QB sneak. Do something, because this ball definitely looks like it slips through Ja'Kai Douglas's hands right at the very end. But from this angle, you can't really tell. He's got his hands underneath the ball.
Nose of the football.
Nose of the football's on the ground.
Yeah.
But listen, we ain't in there looking at this replay. The referee is.
It was ruled a catch on the field.
Yes, it was. Not definitive. It's not definitive right there. But here's the other angle. Oh, he caught that bad boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very revealing angle.
Look at that. He got the one hand on it, you know. That was a very revealing angle, just like you said, Jonesy.
Yeah.
He got his hands underneath before the ball could hit the ground, got hit, kept control. Can't overturn that one. Not with what we just saw.
Right. 2:34 to go. And you know, Jordan Travis has been so clutch in the 2-minute drill. As we take one more look at it.
Yeah, the key is when he gets hit in the flip and you see the control that he has there of the football. The ball is moving, but he is also moving. I don't think as a referee you can sit there and look at that and say, oh, that's not a catch.
Mm-hmm. They are still looking at it with 2:34 to go in the fourth quarter. I was talking about Jordan Travis. He's done it before. Against Syracuse, 2-minute drill. Drives his team down the field late to set up a game-winning field goal by Ryan Fitzgerald. Then again in a game we did a couple of weeks ago against Miami, took his team the length of the field, found Andrew Parchment with that critical 4th and 14 conversion down to the 1-yard line. They punched it in after that and ended up vanquishing the Miami Hurricanes. So it would take another dramatic comeback here by Jordan Travis to get the dub.
And Jordan Travis is 100% capable of doing it. And we talked with...
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. The play ended with 2:44 on the clock. Please reset the game clock to 2:44 and start it on my signal. 2 minutes, 44 seconds, please.
And as I was saying, Jordan Travis, why does he have so much confidence in these situations?
Thank you.
No, thank you, sir. It's because he understands that his coach has his back, his teammates believe in him, and in the biggest moments, he tends to rise. The cream always rises to the top.
Travis hits his receiver Parchment again. Steps out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. 4-yard gain. And we're being told that Michigan has defeated Ohio State. And that's going to have some big implications with the college football playoff. McDonald making the reception for the Seminoles, picking up the first down, working against Burney to pick up 7 yards.
Are you telling me that the Harbaugh curse is over?
It's over.
He beat Ohio State.
Been a long time. Snaps a 5-game losing streak. Travis down the middle in the seam, complete to Parchment again from Cypress Bay High School in Weston, Florida. 19-yard gain.
And you see it right now. Jordan Travis is cooking with hot grease.
Travis came underneath, incomplete at the 27. Tried to hit his tailback, Trayshawn Ward, out of the backfield. Sets up a 2nd and 10, 1:57 to go. Florida State with 2 of its 3 timeouts remaining.
And this Florida defense has been playing extremely well today. They got 4 sacks, all by our guy Brenton Cox Jr. So look for him to try to pin his ears back, come after the quarterback right here.
Travis down the sideline. Boy, his receiver McClain got a hand on it, but not enough. Good coverage there by Avery Helm. Sets up a 3rd down and 10 for Florida State.
It's 3rd and 10. They've got to keep taking these shots down the field. Obviously, you don't want to get another incompletion. You need a 1st down to stay alive. But Jordan Travis has to trust the playmakers around him. And if he gets an opportunity, use his legs. Because that's the one thing that the defensive coordinators typically do not account for, even in these big moments.
They blow it dead. They got some flags down in the field.
Offside. Defense number 92 entering the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Well, that definitely makes a 3rd down more manageable right there. Jordan Travis using the snap count once again to get those guys offside. But you see this throw right here to the outside to Malik McClain, and just that close to making that play.
Thank you.
They reset the clock to 1:52, and it'll run on the snap. 3rd and 5, Seminoles. Travis surveying, now going to take off, do it himself, and pushed out of bounds at about the 26. Picks up the 1st down, stops the clock, 1:45 to go.
And there he is right there, using his legs. After earlier in the game, he went to the locker room with a shoulder injury.
Wide open at the 10, but his receiver, Wilson, went to the turf to catch it, so it's ruled dead there, but there's a flag down. Looks like we're going to get an offsides call.
Offside. Number 1, defense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down. The clock will start.
Greg Knox taking the timeout, trying to get his defense to recuperate. Because Jordan Travis and the Seminoles have him on the rails right now.
He loves the bright lights, Jordan Travis does. Documented a moment ago his ability to bring his team back from deficits to win. They did it against Miami, did it against Syracuse, made some big plays in that win against North Carolina. This is what it looked like against the Hurricanes a couple of weeks ago up in Tallahassee.
And it was everybody pitching in, right? Jay-Sean Corbin made some plays. The defense made some plays down the stretch. Andrew Parchment with the big 4th and 14 conversion. And then, of course, Jordan Travis, with a little help from his friends, got in the end zone on the quarterback sneak. But he's doing right now what he did against Miami. It wasn't just his legs. He also used his arm to move the ball and push the ball down the field. Little different situation here, right? Down 10 with a minute 39. Not only do they need the touchdown, they need a little bit of help.
Travis from West Palm Beach, Florida. 6'1" sophomore. Coaches say he cares about his teammates and how he plays. Most importantly to him. Into the end zone. Parchment! Touchdown! No, they're going to wave it off. Wow.
Second down.
Looked like he had it.
Parchment with a...
He wants it to be
honestly,
reviewed.
that's a pretty incredible catch. But when you see him come down, it's about whether or not he gets a foot in. Oh, he got the elbow. But the ball...
That right foot looked like it was down.
Look. His elbow came down.
They should give him time to look at this.
But the ball shifted when he hit the ground, so they're going to say he didn't have control of the ball throughout the catch.
Parchment was the guy that came up clutch a couple of weeks ago, and now they're going to look at it.
Ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
So the question will be whether or not his right leg got in, and then when he hit the ground, did he control it all the way through? So here it is. You see it right there, and the ball comes loose. Incomplete pass. Man.
You think the ball came loose?
Watch it. Watch it when we go to the replay. Here, you see he catches the ball there.
He's got it
leg
in there.
and arm comes down.
He has
ball
that ball.
Comes loose. Ball comes out, pops up right there. That's an incomplete pass. Because he lost control of the ball right there just for a second, right? Now he has to reestablish control. Once he reestablished control, he's out of bounds.
When I watch that in its entirety,
right,
it looks like a catch, but by definition, the fact that he lost control of it.
Yes, just because when he hit the ground,
after further
the ball
review,
shifted.
the ruling on the field is confirmed.
And once the ball shifted, once he hit the ground, that's what makes it an incomplete pass. So this is it in real time, and you can see. Even in real time with the naked eye, the back judge there said it was an incomplete pass, out of bounds. I didn't see all that right there, but when you slowed it down, I definitely saw how the ball shifted a little bit. But they're going to need someone to actually make that play and complete it here in this big moment for the Seminoles.
Travis into the end zone again for Parchment again. Incomplete again. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Jason Marshall Jr. in on the coverage. What are we looking at now, Robert, on 3rd down and 5? Obviously, they got to get a score here of some type.
Yeah, they've thrown the ball twice now to Andrew Parchment. In this situation, it's 3rd and 5. You can actually get the 1st down without scoring a touchdown. I'm rolling Jordan Travis out of the pocket, giving him a run-pass option so that if the throw is not there, he can run it.
Complete, and they pick up the 1st down to the tailback Corbin. They got the 1st down without scoring. And Florida State with a couple of timeouts remaining.
You can get the 1st down without scoring. They do it right there. They didn't move Jordan Travis, but they threw the ball to one of their best players in Jay-Sean Corbin.
Travis on the run, flushed out, threw it, incomplete. Boy, you talk about some improvisational skills by Jordan Travis there. Might have been a Mahomes-like attempt.
Yeah, you know, which Mahomes was it? Was it the Mahomes of late, or was it the Mahomes at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, Super Bowl one.
Yeah, there you go. In this situation, he's just trying to make a play, and you can't blame the guy for that. Luckily, the ball finds the ground, doesn't get intercepted, and they have another shot here on 2nd and goal to get into the end zone.
Ontario Wilson split to the top of your screen. Parchment at the bottom. He's the big target at 6'3". Looks Parchment's way, fires incomplete, and a flag thrown in on the coverage by Helm.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to get...
You see Jordan Travis.
Pass interference. Defense number 24. By rule, the ball be placed at the 2-yard line with an automatic first down.
So 1st and goal with 1:07 to go for the Seminoles.
Jordan Travis tried to unleash the dragon with that throw right there. And as Andrew Parchment was coming out of his break, you see that little grab and tug right there. That is holding. That is pass interference on Helm. So sometimes these DBs get so used to holding, they don't even understand what they're doing.
Okay. Wilson in motion. Travis trying to hit the corner. Does. Touchdown, Wilson.
Yeah, it looks like they might call
there's another flag down.
Offensive pass interference. Yep.
Wow. This entire
pass interference, number 7, offense. 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Kenny Dillingham has been very open about how they like to use rub and pick routes. So Andrew Parchment right here, he doesn't need to do that.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
We call it a rub and pick play because you just need to go there, flash your hands back to the quarterback, and just get in his way a little bit. When you actually go up there and try to chest bump a guy, no, of course the ref is going to call that one. They see that one from a mile away.
There's a look at Parchment. And this was him on the route.
And it's right there when you see him make contact. All he has to do is, instead of chest bumping the guy, flash your hands back to the quarterback, you know, stick your butt out a little bit, get in his way. You know what I'm saying? And then they're not going to call it. They know what you're trying to do. But when you make it that obvious, you give them no choice.
Let's check in with the studio.
All right, guys, in the event that your game ends before the primetime window, I want to get you caught up on what's going on with Oregon and Oregon State. Travis Dye in for the Ducks first. Again, we'll move this game to ESPN when Florida State ends.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, Matt. Talk to programming about that. 1st and goal. Over the middle, incomplete, intended for the tight end McDonald, who didn't appear to be ready. And another flag down on the field. It was after the play.
After the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 1, defense. His first of the game. Half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
Penalties have moved the ball as much as these respective offenses today.
Yeah, it really has. I think I mentioned that earlier. There's over 100 and probably 80 yards of penalty yards right now in this game. But for Brenton Cox Jr., you've had an amazing game, right? 4 sacks. You're just creating havoc, but you can't keep moving forward to stay closer and closer to getting a touchdown.
1st and goal from the 8. Travis fires, incomplete to his tight end McDonald again. It'll be 2nd and goal. Elam there defending, and Elam is one of the best corners in the conference at 6'2", 200 pounds out of Riviera Beach, Florida.
And you know why we haven't mentioned Kyer Elam all day? Because he's been blanketing everybody that he's been on. This guy is a bona fide playmaker, and they've had him a lot on Ja'Kai Douglas today because they know that Ja'Kai Douglas has been a big play guy for the Seminoles. And you've seen him erase him from this game.
That guy's on lockdown there. On 2nd and goal, Travis fires, caught at the 1 by Wilson. They get back up quickly to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal coming up, an 8-yard gain. And a timeout going to be called by the Seminoles with 43 seconds to go. Hey, the good news is there was no flag on that play. I mean, it's been that type of afternoon in this rivalry game between Florida and Florida State. Robert, 3rd and goal. Got to get a score, or else it's pretty much done for the Seminoles. What's the strategy moving forward for them?
Yeah, actually, I love what Kenny Dillingham did there. Told you, move the pocket, give Jordan Travis a run-pass option. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked at that for where Pokey Wilson caught that pass, because it looked like he might have been in the end zone when he caught it.
I thought his forward progress when he caught it was actually across the plane of the goal line.
And you can see it here. You're going to see the ball come in, and Pokey's going to rise up to make the catch. And right there, if he makes that catch and they're saying that he has possession of the ball, that's a touchdown. Now, if they're going to say that when he comes down and actually reestablishes himself in the field of play, then yeah, the ball's going to go wherever he was at.
Wow. That was a lot closer than what we saw in real time.
Yes, to the naked eye, I was actually wondering why they wouldn't review that in the first place. But, of course, the rules will take precedent over what the naked eye sees. But you're talking about, and as you see, they are reviewing that play.
Right.
But for them in play calling wise, you have a lot of options here. You don't have to drop back and throw the ball here, but give your quarterback an opportunity. They like to run those nobody goes, I throws, screens in these situations. Spread the field out. If they cover everybody down, run the quarterback draw right up the middle.
And Travis is pretty good at using his legs. 44 seconds to go. The Seminoles down to their last time out after this one. Florida, meanwhile, with 2 remaining. Does Jordan Travis have one more miraculous finish and ending left in him? And what would it mean for Mike Norvell's squad to get a win here in these dying seconds and become bowl eligible after that slow start? They lost their first 4 and then rallied.
Yeah, they started 0-4, went 3-0. Then 0-2, and now they're trying to finish the season strong and get and be on a 3-game winning streak.
Still waiting for the adjudication of that last review on that catch by Ontario Wilson. Remember, it's where the ball is when it's caught. Hey, what about Wilson atoning for that fumble with a great play down there in these last seconds of the game?
Yeah, I mean, Pokey Wilson, that's not an easy catch. That is not an easy play. He made it look routine, and as you said, he stepped up big in that moment after making the colossal mistake of muffing the punt.
After further review, the ball broke the plane of the goal line. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Well, how about that?
Florida State is not charged with a timeout.
As I was saying,
how about that?
To the naked eye, when I saw him make the catch, I thought he was in the end zone. Although he was in the air, you can see him right here make this catch. And he is past the plane.
Yeah, in that moment.
In that moment, that is a touchdown. Here it is again. He's in the end zone, makes that catch. He gets pushed out of the end zone, but he caught the ball in the end zone. Therefore, it's a touchdown.
What a great effort by Wilson. His 5th touchdown of the season, 8th of his career. Finding atonement in that reception after the fumble that cost them a possession. So, it's a 3-point game with 44 seconds to go. The obvious onside kick here?
Yeah, they have to. They don't have enough time. They got 2 timeouts, 44 seconds left in the game. If they don't get this onside kick, the game's over. So they're going to have to go out there and pull out that trick they've been working on all season.
It's now number 74.
Remember, we saw that miraculous comeback last night against North Carolina State and North Carolina. And, you know, it really strikes me how these place kickers nowadays are so adept at the different types of onside kick.
What else do they have to do all day?
Come on, man.
Okay. What do these guys do all day? They're sitting over there in the corner.
You're better than
coming up with trick ways to make
don't hate on the kicker like that.
And you look at NC State, they scored 2 touchdowns in 26 seconds. And that kicker said, listen, everything I've been doing all season, working on this little is going to work today.
Do you prefer the ones that bounce or the ones where you kind of get it up in the air quickly and let the guy run down the sideline and try and get it?
I like the ones that bounce.
Okay.
I don't want the, because they can easily fair catch that one.
The touchdown.
Okay.
49 seconds on the game clock. Please reset it to 49. Thank you.
That last drive, 16 plays, 92 yards.
I was going to say, it seems like the refs want this game to go longer. They added time.
Parker Grathus out there, number 37. He fakes it. Oh, wow. He hit it. I'm not sure that was by design or not. I don't think so. So what happens here?
Yeah, if he didn't do that on purpose.
Did it fall? Or he hit it? Looks like he hit it with his foot. So it's live then, isn't it?
Ruling on the field is that the kicker's foot touched the ball, therefore he kicked the ball, and then the kicking team illegally touched the ball, will be placed at the spot of illegal touching. First down, Florida.
Wow.
Yeah, we've seen it all today.
We sure have. That is a rather inauspicious and inglorious potential ending for Florida State to not even have an opportunity to kick it. He whiffed.
Yeah, he whiffed.
He whiffed, man. He missed the ball. Looked like he was aiming for the top of it here, Robert.
Yeah.
And came over the top and missed it. And then recovered by the kicking team, as the official explained, illegally. Thus, Gator football at the 36.
Wow. We have seen it all today, and it looks like the Seminoles are going to come up a foot short.
Florida State has a couple of timeouts here. Florida trying to make it 3 in a row against the Seminoles.
I must say, you can't give enough praise to.
Timeout, Florida State. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
You can't say enough good things about interim head coach Greg Knox getting the Gators ready to play, right? Trusting his offensive coordinator Garrett McGee, trusting his defensive coordinator Christian Robinson, and getting these guys ready to protect the swamp, and not just protect the swamp, but focus on the task at hand. He talked about these young men can't control what happens on the play that's past them. They can only focus on the plays that are right there in front of them. Don't worry about a bowl. Don't worry about the coaching search. Focus on what you can control and go out there and make it happen. Yeah, I mean, for me, you got to give him an A.
Yeah.
You got to give him an A for what he has accomplished over the last week with the firing of Dan Mullen and being put in this situation.
I've been doing college football for almost, 30 years here at ESPN, and I've been in situations where interim coaches come in under these types of circumstances and through no fault of their own have players let go of the rope a little bit. That certainly was not the case today, not even close to it. So tip of the hat to Coach Knox. Mackenzie Milton there on the sidelines, and Jordan Travis perhaps realizing in this moment that this is the end of their football season. And 5-7.
And don't get it twisted. What Florida State has been able to do this year after starting the season 0-4 to get to this point in this game and have an opportunity to get to a bowl game is just nothing short of amazing. Now, it might not be what Noel Nation wants to hear, but at the end of the day, Coach Norvell said there are no moral victories. There are no excuses. And he is trying to build this program to where toughness, integrity, all those things that he wants for his program are bubbling to the surface. And they found that in their identity as they went throughout the year, offensively, defensively. And this guy right here, Jermaine Johnson, a transfer from Georgia, is the epitome of that. They go out and they give relentless effort every single game that we have covered them. And I think that's a testament to Coach Norvell and what he's implementing there.
Yeah, he's gone a long way in establishing his culture in year 3 at Florida State. They're going to finish up 5-7, but the numbers might not tell the entire story for what they've been able to grow in Tallahassee this year. But as we've learned in modern day college football with the transfer portal, what you see on the field today may not even be a close representation of what you see next year on the field.
And how about Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
Hey, the Gators, they have something to be excited for. Remember the name, because that guy right there, he's got game.
So the 65th edition of Florida and Florida State ends with the Gators winning it by 3. The Seminoles, in the words of my partner Robert, coming up just a foot literally short. Inches too. And all good days usually end with a nice shower. Gators win it. For Quinn Kesnick, Robert Griffin III, our entire crew, I'm Mark Jones. Folks, stay tuned for Oregon State and Oregon. It's coming up next. So long from Gainesville.
And already it's 14-0.